All right, everybody, what's going on? It's your boy Jay Banks. Another episode of the PowWow. Got my guy AI next to me. What's cracking, bro?
Hey, how we doing?
He's like, I'm not even ready, dude. Where's my drink at? I gotta hide everything.
That thing.
The drink was actually in the way.
In the shot. Yeah.
Oh, well, there you go.
What's up, guys? How we doing?
What's cracking, bro?
Yeah, man, we're chilling.
I'm excited. We got a full house today, dude.
Yeah, we do. These guests are next level over here, man.
Yeah, dude. And not only are you guys in your 30th year, which is absolutely incredible, man. That you've got a ship that lasts 30 years, which is awesome, man. But you just had Chrissy Teigen there too, right?
We did.
That's awesome, man. All right, so let's go down the list here. So right here we've got Steve and Lizzie, right?
Right.
Steve and Lizzie, all right. And then Dave is next on the list, and then Terry's over there on the right. So you guys are the ones that actually make it happen down there at the USS Nightmare, huh? You guys do the makeup and you guys do the design work or whatnot?
Yes. Yeah, we're the core, but there's others that help us out a lot. But
for sure.
We do a lot of the design. We start our season starts now for next year. Like as we open, we're the guys that are walking through saying, okay, what's working, what's not working, what are we changing next year? And we start formulating a plan, and we have a plan by the end of this season of what we want to do next year.
Oh, for sure.
Nice.
Oh, I bet you it starts to get brewing and just brewing in your brain too, man. Where you're like, I can't wait to implement this, man. This is gonna be so cool. Like once we do this,
Oh yeah.
We'll just start pulling ideas out. Yeah. It'd be fun working down there, man. Just having all these different like ideas that you can literally throw against the wall and see if it sticks. Like, if it's too gross, that's kind of the whole point, right? Is like to try to get people to talk about it.
Yeah, it's hard for us to get too gross.
Right? Yeah, I bet.
Right?
Man.
Yeah. I mean, what's the limit? You know,
Right.
what line are you gonna cross? I mean,
that's a good question.
Yeah.
Has there been something that you had to pull out because it was too gross or?
Yeah, I will say
Terry's smiling over there. He's already got one in mind.
Yeah, well, our general manager Alan Rizzo, sometimes he'll find something that culturally, if it's something that just happened that's very bad.
Oh yeah,
we might.
That's
pull
understandable.
It out. I can say like the Matt Maupin when he was beheaded.
Oh yeah,
we made it a point that year to make sure that we didn't have any severed heads, just out of respect.
That's great. Yeah.
Little stuff like that we'll do, but in general, we're pretty. It's pretty. Anything's pretty much fair game.
It's evilly tasteful.
That's right.
Right.
You know what? You know what's great, man. When I went through there one year, there was a it said like private door or like a bathroom door, and it was like it didn't look like you were supposed to go through. It was like an employees only door, and I popped in there, and it was like there was a whole nother scene where it was like it wasn't even meant to like. It was supposed to be looked over, but just in case, like somebody went in there, like you guys staged it, which it was super cool, man. That you guys always, it's like attention to detail for sure.
We try to utilize every inch of the boat.
Yeah,
I bet, man, and that's something else. So you guys have had that thing for 30 years. So like, how do you innovate it and change it to the point where like each year someone gets like a new fright and like wants to come back?
It's
that whole planning that you were talking about earlier, right?
It's a lot of that, and we between trade shows and stuff, we get ideas from there, and just as we formulate our story and progress our story, it leads us down paths to try different things, and we're always looking to be innovative. We're trying to find different things that we can do that'll set us apart from everyone else. So
right. Is that what the trade show's about? Does that have like new like LEDs or new like toys or gimmicks that you guys can purchase? Like, is that what a trade show's about?
It's always the latest and greatest, what's up and coming, and a lot of things are getting more computer driven nowadays. So technology is becoming part of the norm.
For sure, yeah.
Sorry, did you hear that?
Yeah, we heard it.
Oh,
yeah, you're good. You're good.
My bad.
No, you're good, man. But that's one of those things. Like I keep telling my wife, man. Like the point that we went from like incandescent bulbs to like LEDs is mind blowing, and the fact that like we just take it as like, oh, it's just a new thing. The fact that you can take the same bulb and plug it right into the old stuff, and you got like a percentage of the bulb or the percentage of the light or the wattage and the amount that you can do with it's amazing, man. It's just like. That's like the internet to me, bro. Like going from incandescent bulbs to LEDs, because now the possibilities are endless. Like the big LED walls, and being able to do things like the optical lights and all that other shit that you can put through in the in like your whole little world out there, man. Like you. I'm jealous that you guys have this little spot that's like your own. It's a family business, right? Is that what I was hearing?
Pretty much. I mean, we are actually part of a flagship of BB Riverboats, which is a family-owned
Oh, okay, yeah.
company. But we are a lot of real close family and friends. Like the general manager, Alan Rizzo, is my father-in-law.
Oh, okay.
My wife works down there in the ticket booth. She's been down there for a while. My mother-in-law used to be the show manager for several years until she retired last year. And my lucky daughter got drug
Lizzie.
in there. Not kicking and screaming because she started in her first year of acting. She was 4 years old.
Oh, very cool.
She's been there for 12 years now.
All right.
Yeah, you've been there. Wow.
So, and then
a
lot of us guys have just grown into such close friends that it's, we're just almost like family anyways.
Oh,
We've got
yeah.
a big group that's, and haunters in general tend to be like that too, which is kind of cool.
Mm-hmm. That's what you call yourself, haunters?
Yeah.
Okay.
The haunting community tends to be very family oriented. And,
I bet.
And really stick together and stick up for each other, which is kind of neat.
It's a small community.
Yeah.
And everybody is everybody is cool. I mean, everybody's as cool with haunters. Everybody is.
Yeah, I kind of see you guys just like the same thing as like an onset for movies. You know what I mean? Like you guys are staging something, that needs to be artistic and needs to be lifelike and it really needs to wow the people that are coming through there. So you guys are all have to be in tune and all have to have those walkie talkies and make sure everyone knows what the hell's going on left and right. But I want to talk to Lizzie for a second. So how old are you?
I'm 15.
Holy cow, 15, and you're already in the business. Like you should be in school right now, like doing tests and stuff. That's crazy. So good for you. So what do you do down there?
I actually made a new room. It's an asylum.
Uh-oh.
I do acting and makeup.
Yeah, just take the mic and because I'll talk to you for a couple minutes. There you go.
I do acting and makeup.
Okay, good for you. So you got the both ends. So what do you like better?
Oh no, I kind of like scaring people.
I was gonna say that's got to be a benefit.
That's got to
Like
be my
screaming at them.
And you did the show this year. You did set deck this year too.
I did do set decoration.
Yeah.
A lot of behind the scenes.
Okay.
I bet you the set decoration is always good when you see people reacting to it, like afterwards. Like when you're putting it together, you're kind of in the middle of it, like, I don't know if this is gonna work or if this is gonna look cheesy. But once the lights are off and it's like everyone's anticipation is already there, I'm sure they're like 10 times more terrified.
It all comes together.
Oh yeah, for sure. So so you're 15, so you're still going to school, and is this what you want to do like for a living?
I think so.
Really? That's awesome. So like the whole makeup side, do you like doing like the prosthetics, or is it more of like?
I'm learning how to do more prosthetics.
Mhm.
I actually have gotten to do makeup on movie sets.
Oh, that's cool.
One of the first full-length movies I ever worked on just came out for makeup.
Oh, very cool. Congratulations.
Yeah,
I wish I had a
congrats.
little button here to do cheers in.
Yeah. Claps. Like,
But that's awesome. And once you get tied into the movie scene, I'm sure you guys know too, man. Like, once you get tied into that set, like, they'll end up using you time and time again because, especially in Cincinnati, it seems like this is a place where they're picking up on the movie scene a lot because they can make something here for half the cost anywhere else. So, and then we definitely have the old school looking towns too, man. There was I was in it was either Seabiscuit or Secretariat, but they were filming in Pears, Kentucky, and they wanted like this old 1920s town, and it was like perfect, dude. It was so crazy. Like once they pulled all the cars up on the street, like they had old like barrels of beer, and then you look around and everyone's all wearing 1920 stuff, and it feels like somebody just flipped a switch, man. It was the craziest thing.
with a whole new world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's still out there. Paris, Kentucky's they're living large over there.
Right. Like Renaissance fairs, like it's on.
Oh, dude, don't get me started on those.
Oh, I know.
man.
Oh, I know.
Do you guys like the Renaissance fair? Like I'm sure like that's right along the same, like the ambiance of like the characters and like people just kind of getting into it, man.
He dresses as a whole Viking.
Yeah, I've
Oh,
done
really?
Renaissance Fair since I've been haunting, so this is my 35th year of haunting.
I'm sure
so.
it's hard to see with his, the
Yeah.
way he looks. He's a Viking, so.
That's awesome, dude.
And I worked up there when they first opened for a couple of years, and then just kept it up as a patron, and we're part of the Lost Viking Horde that does Viking reenactment, and pretty loosely based on history, but we have a little bit of fun too. So
That's awesome, man.
Gotta have fun in there, man. That's what it's about, right?
Me and the wife just went down there, and we're sitting in the car, and she's dressed in her outfit, and I've got my whole mad scientist outfit on, and she's seeing all these people walk past, and she's like, "Oh my God, look at all these people!" And I'm like, "You realize what's happening right now, right? Like we're now the people that all these people come to see, because all these people come and go, man, you got to go down there. Like all these people dress up like they're from the Renaissance, and because the first year, like we went down there and we just dressed as we were, and then we felt out of place. Like, oh, we have to dress up to come back next time and to be a part of it. So, and it's a tradition now, man. No, like that place is so fun. They've got just a ton of stuff to do out there. They've got like the whole. She gets it every time. The whole turkey leg.
Oh yeah, turkey leg. Yeah.
And
That's
Ohio
awesome.
has the best ones. Most of them have them. I've had them at many.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what Ohio does different, but theirs are the best.
Really? All right. See, I noticed that too, man. That there's a lot of Renaissance festivals everywhere, and every time I see it, I'm like, oh shit, I think they're talking about ours for some reason,
Yeah.
But it's definitely
There's
everywhere.
some big. I mean, we've got a pretty big one here in Ohio, but there's some Texas, Minnesota.
Do you travel and do
Pittsburgh.
all of them?
I've done a few. I don't do all of them, but
Mhm.
I've done. Let's see, we've done Bristol, we've done Sterling, we've done King Richards in Boston, we've done Tennessee, we've done.
And how does Ohio stand against all of them besides the turkey?
Ohio is really good, and the new owners that have it now are spectacular. They've really enhanced the experience and added to it. Ohio's always been one of the larger ones, and they've always had a great number of vendors, but they've really upped their shows and experiences on the ground. They've improved the ground. And
They did a great job with whatever, like the parking to get in there, because last year I waited like an hour and a half once we got once we got to the line. It took us like over an hour to park, and this year I think they just like took us on like a little zigzag route, because I thought I was lost, and then all of a sudden we pulled in, and it was like so easy. There was like no wait to get in, man. It was perfect.
Well, after COVID, they shut down the year of COVID, and after COVID, their attendance was so high. They used to just do like $1 or $2 of parking, and the money went to like a charity or something.
Yeah.
But it was backing them up so much, they've done away with the charge for parking.
Oh wow.
So they could get people in quicker, because
Yeah.
their attendance has just blown up the last 2 years.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, and it's kind of a shame too, because you want to donate that money, but it's like, man, we're getting a bunch of slack for people waiting, hours to get in here.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if they don't make it up somewhere, because they like I said, the new owners seem to really have their finger on the pulse of how to take care of their customers. I mean, they use the grounds now for the. They've got a Christmas show that's really cool, the Yule Fest.
Oh, nice.
Celtic Fest. And even in the summer, they have the grounds open on certain weekends where you can go up, and there's a barbecue place up there that's really good, and they have car shows and movie night, and they have bands.
That's a smart way to utilize it for sure.
Yeah.
Man, I just saw where Lori's Roadhouse is today. Dude, Jesus, man. They're like they are making money hand over fist in a shopping center, bro. It's a shopping center. Like it's over there, like right by TSC. I pulled in and I was like, "What is this honky tonk?" And I'm like, "Oh my God, this is Lori's Roadhouse, dude! Like that's beyond genius, man. Like they're bringing in John Michael Montgomery or whoever that was last time, and it's like, I bet you he's just looking at this place like, God, I'm playing in a shopping center, but like they killed it, man. The place is gorgeous on the inside. But all right, so back to back to the ghost ship, man. Where do you park this thing? After the holidays, do you just clean it up and then use it as a day-to-day driver?
Well, we tell everybody she just kind of fades away, but actually she just fades up to Dayton, Kentucky, and goes into storage.
Okay,
for
yeah,
the winter.
yeah,
Okay.
that's our neck of the woods, man.
Yeah.
We're over there in Dayton.
Ideally, we have to wait for the spring floods, and once those are done, we can get on and work on it. We usually start in June.
Mm-hmm.
There's been rare occurrences we've been on there as early as May, but usually it's early June that we're pretty safe setting our ramps and getting on there. So
I like that you said it just fades away, man. Like as soon as you said that, I just saw the boat just like fading into like
So
this
did
black smoke.
I saw the same thing. I was
Yeah.
like,
it just kind of disappears in the fog.
imagery, man.
Just to show up the next year.
Do you have a vision, like a photo or like a commercial of that? I feel like I've already seen it. If not, that you like that needs to happen.
Yeah, like put that in like.
We'll get on that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like we'll see you next season.
Get
Like
you a videographer, like make it so it fades away, like a commercial. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Till next season.
We do have a guy that does some video work for us.
Sure, yeah.
He always comes up and films us coming in. And one year when it was coming in early, it was coming through the fog. So you may have seen something like that.
okay.
That's cool.
He does a lot of that for us. He does a lot of video work for us.
So has anything crazy ever happened on the ship? Anything that's like I'm sure people have probably overheated and like need to call the ambulance. But like, what's the craziest story on the ship that you guys are allowed to talk about?
Ooh.
Gosh, one thing I always like to tell everybody is the season falls mid-September to first week of November typically, and it's like first 2 weeks you're sweating your ass off.
Mm-hmm.
I mean sweating, right?
Yeah.
Makeup's running off. The last 2 weeks you're shivering in the corner.
Yeah.
Blanket.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So everybody gets sick. You know, it seems like everybody gets
Right,
sick.
right.
First couple of weeks, we have people falling out. So, yeah, I think our captain overheated first weekend, opening weekend.
Saturday.
Our captain overheated. He had to sit out for a while. He was big dude, too, big dude. And if he got overheated,
Yeah.
yeah,
That
Oh,
is,
it was
yeah.
bad.
It's like it's one of those things where you're dealing with the elements within a confined space. You know what I mean? Like, and there's body heat coming through, people are coming through. It's like
Especially
A lot.
a confined space that you don't want to feel comfortable. Like you got to make sure that these people don't feel comfortable, right? You know, not like overheating, but
Right,
you don't
right.
want them to feel like nice and cool.
yeah, like they're having you want it to be like an uncomfortable environment. You kind of like keep them on their toes, but like, so do you guys have like is there some kind of like way to control the temperature? Or is it just those walls or the elements outside are affecting the inside?
Yeah.
Elements
Yeah.
affect the end. Now we've done a few things, especially for the hot weather, which tends to affect us a little bit more. Like if you look at our roof, we've gone through and used silver aluminum paint to help reflect the sun and not absorb as much heat on the upper deck
Okay.
and stuff like that. And then a lot of times one of us is down there early in the morning if it's warm, and we'll try to open the boat up and let the morning cooler, what cooler is,
Yeah.
kind of cool off the inside and then shut it down so it hopefully is a little bit cooler.
Okay.
But then we do most of it with what we do with the actors, putting water stations up and cooling rags and stuff like that, and letting them step out. We run, besides all of our actors, we have a core of braking actors that go around and give the actors relief. So if someone's overheating, an actor can step in for them for a little bit so the scene doesn't go empty, let them come out and kind of recover before they go back in.
Oh yeah.
Okay, man.
So the like your age demographic down there, because like I remember like I was in high school and that was the thing, you know, to like Friday night is to go to the USS Nightmare, and actually was like the spot to go. And is it still that way? Is it still like a high school thing, or is it like where does your age land, and do you guys market to kids? Like do you guys like market to high schools and try to get, you know, the students down there with maybe a student ID or something?
They do some high school marketing, but it's funny that you say that. We aren't as tied into radio stations as we used to be, but you could definitely see your demographics based on your radio station
Right,
in the past.
for sure.
But we've seen our demographics really kind of blow up. Halloween has just blown up so big.
It has, man.
I would say we're probably still pretty heavy in the early mid-teen to the mid-20s.
Okay.
But, I mean, it's not uncommon to see, you know, 65, 70-year-olds coming down and going through, which you would never have dreamed of, and having just as much fun and getting just as scared as the kids.
Sick, yeah.
Right.
For sure.
Well, yeah, I was going to say we have a character. We have a role that we call ticket taker, and I've played that a few times. And you get parents bringing kids, saying, "We grew up with the nightmare. We're bringing our kids,
Ah,
even bringing their
that's great.
grandkids." You know,
Okay.
so it's become a tradition around
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
Oh yeah, generations.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean that's something like I remember, like I still remember standing in line, and I still remember how like the feeling I had getting up there, like I was cold and I was nervous, so like all these emotions were running through my body, and for some reason I've got that like image embedded right into my brain right there before I was walking, onto the ship, man. So like that's cool that you guys have been around that long too, and it's always been down here at Newport.
Yeah, well, the first few years we were up in Covington.
At like the Covington Landing.
Yeah, Covington
yeah.
Landing. BB was stationed up there for a while, and then we had a dock down in Newport. We were probably, I've been with the Nightmare 25 years. It's probably my first, let's say 3 or 4 years was in Covington, and then since then we've moved down to Newport.
Okay. That's great, man. This spot here is too. It's perfect with the parking that you got, so you can utilize the levee down here. It's like $5 for 5 hours, I think. So
you can park for a long time. I mean, obviously the hour free parking that we offer down here is too long, but like enough to shop. But like $5 to park and get that experience and get everything else that the levee consists of, like can't beat the location, and it's perfect for you. Yeah. And like the best part is like the view to Cincinnati, where people are all sitting up like close to Beeline up here, it's direct shot to where you guys are sitting. So you can literally see the boat right in front of the city skyline. Right. So all those photos that people are posting of the skyline, you're like right in them. So like that's huge as well, like on a different level. Because I mean, that's like some people are taking their like picture to put on their wall kind of thing, and you're in the shot, So that's pretty cool.
You said something a minute ago, man, on how like Halloween is like become more popular, and I completely agree, man. But what do you think attests to that? Like why is it the fact that like more horror movies are like
it's like a Netflix like boosting because there's more accessibility to horror films, so people are. But I also see like a lot of people doing a lot more Halloween shopping for just the thrift aspect that is Halloween vibes. So like I'm seeing it everywhere on social media. So like it has to be, the internet has to take place, has to be a part of this of some degree. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Like
I think Halloween's just gone more mainstream. The other thing I think is Halloween is the one holiday that's just about you going out and having fun, and cutting loose.
Mm-hmm.
There's just something about, and that's why I think Renaissance festivals are so much fun, and people enjoy acting and going to Halloween parties. It's a chance to dress up and do something different for a night.
For sure.
Just cut loose. It's not about, unless you have young kids, it's not about, so much
trick or treating anymore.
Family and trick or treating and getting together with the family and having a meal. It's going out, having fun,
showing off your fit. Showing off your costume.
And getting your adrenaline going. And I think people are just enjoying it more.
Yeah, it's, and I think maybe like the time when we were in the middle of the pandemic, where people couldn't even go out and do their thing, and then Halloween has this level of freedom to it. You know what I mean? Like be who you want for that night or that weekend, or because Halloween people spend the whole month of October is Halloween in some cases. So
it's that weather too.
Yeah,
man.
the weather
starts changing. And you want to be outside. You want to start doing things.
Like the hoodie weather, the beginning of hoodie weather is like the best time, I would say. People bring out the flannels. They kind of pumpkin patches start popping up. And it's like such a good time. But I do think like the internet has a huge like part in things, because people want to post their fit on Instagram. They want to post their costume. So then Halloween becomes a bigger deal because people want to show off what they're wearing. So it kind of like snowballs, through the internet. So like I'm sure there's got to be something to it. It's an interesting.
I kind of agree with you. A Netflix thing, dude. Like honestly, like there's so many like movies that are popping up. Like it's not just around Halloween anymore. It's like not everybody fighting for that big dollar buck at AMC, on Halloween weekend. Now they've got Netflix where, Dahmer already came out. I would consider that a horror flick for sure.
Yeah, yes,
that came out now.
That
before October. So I don't know, man. I think you might be onto something with that Netflix thing, dude.
Maybe. I will say though, I'm gonna take a quick stop because we got Liquid Death on, and we're talking some Halloween. And check his shirt out. Look at this.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah. So Liquid Death. Hopefully they'll be sponsoring the podcast soon, man. They sent us a bunch of merch and a bunch of free Liquid Deaths to give out, man. So have you guys ever had it before? Liquid Death. It's amazing.
Have you had it?
I think I have.
Yeah, you have.
I know Joey and Alicia have had it. You like it. I've tried it.
Yeah, it's good. It's a high pH balance, so it's like 8.1 pH. So it's up there with Essentia, and it's got more electrolytes than than Essentia does. So, and it's different drinking out of a can, man. You know, like
It sure is.
and I like colder the water the better. So the can gets it a lot cooler than like a plastic bottle does. But they say, you know, once that plastic bottle gets hot, it just like it releases toxins into the water. And if you've ever been inside one of those semis, man, you know those things are so hot inside that semi tank. So, you know, by that point you get it, even if it is in the cool section of Kroger. You already went through the hot desert of Texas.
Yeah, I just showed the sparkling. I'll get the mountain water right here.
Yeah, man. So they've got a bunch of different flavors too, but I'm sold on the clear stuff.
Same. Got the box right here, chilling.
But yeah, so hopefully, you know, we'll be talking with them more because they've got a lot of good stuff that we're doing. We sell the stuff down here. We've been selling it for a while. So
yeah, people come in to just for ask for it too. It's pretty interesting because like I'll be sitting behind the desk and someone come up and be like, hey, can I get 5 liquid deaths? I can't find them anywhere. I need them here. I'm like, got you. 5 down. You know what I mean? Like, but these, you know, he's loading up for later kind of thing.
I
so
know
like
what
that's
you're talking about too.
Yeah. It's kind of those things. Like that's cool. I mean, I doubt he's going to the gas station and buying 5 bottles of water. Right. You know what I mean? Right. So like that's the thing is you're coming here to buy that specific.
I was talking with I went and picked up ink for the DTG printer and I was wearing this shirt and the guy goes, "Oh, Liquid Death." And the lady was like, "What is that?" And I was talking to her and I was like, "It's genius because I just saw like one of their Super Bowl commercials and it was nothing but like a bunch of like 10-year-old kids like passing out like tall boys." And it looked like a house party, right? Like it looked like a Super Bowl house party, and the little kid was like, "Yeah," like handing them out to everybody, and then like people were complaining over this commercial, and it's like it's so genius, dude. Like, why are you complaining? If you can get a 10-year-old to get hyper and hyped about drinking water, like don't go against the grain on that one, man.
Right?
You know what I mean? But they're smart, dude. They got some good marketing they're doing. Plus,
sure do.
You know, it's a good product. So kudos to those guys.
Yeah, shout out Liquid Death. Appreciate you.
And again, it fits right into our genre.
Yes, sir.
Right, sure does.
Yeah,
man.
this is the perfect.
Love the cans.
We might have to carry that.
Yeah, for sure. You know what, man? You could probably sell a whole ton of it on the, like you said, the first 2 weeks. It's boiling hot over there. Yeah,
no doubt.
Yeah, man. They might want to reach out. That'd be a good combo for sure. But all right, man. So back to the ship now. It, you know, you were saying that the whole thing is like family oriented, pretty much. Now, is that how you got into it, or have you? Because I feel like you've been like kind of what do they call that? Not bootstrap, but like a leather where you're just like hitching rides, man. Not like, you know what I mean. Not like a homeless dude, but a leatherback or whatever they call it, where you're just going from town to town, man. I feel like that's the type of guy you are.
Traveler.
Traveler.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny. The way I got started 35 years ago was my sister, who's like 6 years younger than me, was. Her and one of her friends were working at a little haunt that was put on by one of the private schools in our area.
Oh, cool.
And it was a charity haunt, raise money for a food bank that they sponsored. And I was going to a Halloween party, and I'm like, you know what? I would love to do something besides just put on a costume. I want some cool makeup or something.
Yeah.
And she was like, well, we got a guy who's really into makeup that would probably do your makeup for you if you wanted to do it. I'm like, sure, I'll give it a shot. So she checked with him. He's like, that's fine. Yeah, after he's done doing what he was doing, he would do it. So I went down, and I was just kind of hanging out and watching everything. And as I'm watching, I'm like, God, this is interesting. This might be fun. And back then, I was a carpenter. Well, I'm still a carpenter, but I was into carpentry back then. And so I told him as he's doing makeup, I'm like, hey, tell the people that run this, if they ever need help, let me know. I'd love to participate. And of course, it's a charity haunt. So the next day I got a call and said, hey, you want to come down and help us?
Right.
So I started doing that, and I started, hanging out with him and working with him. And long story short, he went through many years of training, and he ended up, he's a professional Hollywood makeup artist now.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty well known. And he actually helped me, him and I put together and started the makeup team at the Nightmare.
Oh,
when
cool.
I started at the Nightmare, which is another interesting story, But when I started there, we were the house of, I call it the house of Uncle Fester. The first couple
Nice.
years, everybody was a white face with black eyes, and we had a couple of actors who like did vampires and did something a little bit different, did their own makeup. But and then him and I came in and we're like, we're gonna start doing makeup on you guys, and they're like, what?
Nice.
Yeah.
And since then, it's evolved, and I mean, it's pretty amazing how far it's come. And,
Mm-hmm.
and the guys I have working with me now, I mean, I have probably 30 makeup artists this year.
Oh, wow.
And half of them are pretty professional. There's
Right.
several of them that work professionally in movies.
That goes hand in hand.
Theater.
Yeah.
So, and we kind of have had a lot of, some of the artists that we've lost is because they've gone on and done more of that. So we've ended up being a little bit of a pipeline because we try to do as much as we can theatrically with full prosthetics and makeup. We try to really minimize the use of masks and stuff like that. So almost everything we do is makeup now.
No kidding.
But that's what got
Why
me
is
started.
that? Why just go to avoid masks altogether? That's an interesting.
Well, for one thing, because the type of house we are, we're a very interactive house.
Okay.
We really work with our actors. We want to immerse you when you're in there, and we want to tell you the story. We have a pretty good storyline built up, and we want our actors to help tell that. So when you're in there, we want you to feel like you're participating in it as
Yeah.
much as you are just walking through and looking
Yeah,
at
rather just being a
things.
mask. Okay. Okay.
So
Yeah.
they interact with you. So
That's
a lot
cool.
of the masks kind of hinder that and make it tougher.
Okay. Sure.
Um,
Sure. Yeah.
So that's one reason. And I just think it's more believable. I mean, if there's a character that a mask is fitting, we will definitely use it.
Yeah.
But most of our actors tend to be pretty vocal, and it becomes kind of tough. In fact, I used to use more full facial prosthetics. I've actually gone to more 3/4 to kind of free up the lower jaw and stuff, so that they don't feel so
Yeah.
hindered with their
Restricted,
talking,
yeah,
lets
yeah.
them pronounce,
Okay.
project more.
They use their facial expressions to
Right.
scare and do their their bit, like, because that is interesting. Like, outside of maybe like a werewolf, you have to dress like a werewolf, but like anything like that, like seeing the eyes of a person and being involved is way more terrifying than seeing a mask per se. And like when you get down to it, because like if you're really like watching someone and then you see their eyes because makeup's highlighting it and their eyes are moving back and forth or whatever, that creeps someone out, like just that alone. So like you're looking on
Those contacts I have now too will do some crazy
Right.
things.
yeah
man.
for
And
sure.
The majority of our actors use the theatrical contacts and everything now.
Yeah.
So it really helps
For sure.
sell the character even more.
So do you guys get to go to other like haunted houses to try to like not see your competition, but like gauge where you guys are at on the scale, and then say I like this idea. How do we implement this in ours? Because I mean, obviously, like that's just how the game goes, right? But I feel like you guys are going to be just as busy. Like you guys aren't going to be able to get off the saddle in enough time to even go see anybody. So it's kind of
that's
like
the thing. We all talk about it,
yeah,
but nobody's off on the same night.
right,
You know what I
right.
mean? It's like some of us are there every single night. Like we four,
Mm-hmm.
we're probably going to be there every night this year. So we can't get off as
Yeah.
a group to go.
Hey, well, I'm
Well,
really
we'd love
glad that
to.
you guys are down here, man.
Yeah,
I really
absolutely.
appreciate you guys taking time to do it too, man. I know Terry popped in. Steve, you were with him, right?
Yes.
When you guys came in a couple weeks ago, and we talked and tried to set this up, man. So I really appreciate you guys taking the time to come down here to do this.
Oh, our
And
pleasure.
it's recording, so you guys can take the footage and do what you want with it, the whole nine. So
Cool.
But yeah, dude. So when it comes to like movies and stuff, do you guys like just search through those haunted like the scary movies and say, man, I could really implement this? Because when I went to Louisville, there was a haunted house I was at, and they really took that Saw. They really took that on, and they actually built like an elevator that went up and fell down like maybe 3 or 4 feet, but felt like it fell a lot further.
Right. Yeah.
But it was like smoking gas in there. Then they had that little Saw character like sitting there talking about you're inhaling some deadly stuff.
Right.
But it's cool, going through these things, and like Saw was popular at the time, so like being in a room that had that implemented was like I felt like I was part of the movie, which is always what people want, right? They want to feel
Right.
like they're a part of the
Immersed into the world.
yeah, exactly.
Yep.
We've had a couple a couple movie tie-ins. one of the Halloweens came out, we tied in with Michael Myers being on the boat. When It came out, we did a tie-in with them, and we had those characters on the boat. But typically, the characters are our characters, our story.
For sure.
You know, but yeah, heck yeah, we look at everything for reference.
I mean, so is that something too, where you would have to get like rights from the Halloween franchise if you wanted to like say Mike Myers is haunting the?
I'm going to give that one to Steve.
I mean, I would assume yeah, because everybody wants their piece of the pie, right? So you gotta you can't advertise like Mike Myers is going to cut your head off in the third part of the set here, but
yeah, technically the licensed characters you should have an agreement to be able to use them.
Right, but that's why you get good enough and you create a storyline, and then you got your own characters, right?
Right.
For sure, man.
But you do utilize ideas from movies and create something new. And I guess for me the biggest example of that is probably one of our biggest antagonists, Anna, who's the captain's daughter. My first few years, Anna was not on the boat. Nobody had heard of Anna. And then I saw a little Rob Zombie movie called House of a Thousand Corpses.
Yep.
And love. I'm one of the people that loves his stuff.
I mean, I was gonna say you guys remind me of Rob Zombie's crew, man.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's talking about.
But there's something that I really enjoyed in that movie was when Baby first meets the group of kids that she brings back to the house, and they're on the porch, and you get all the baby dolls made into a mobile hanging there, and I'm like,
right,
that's kind of cool. I need to make a room that I can kind of utilize something. That's kind of a cool idea, and so we designed the captain's daughter, because Captain Mitchell lost his wife early, so his daughter came and lived with him on the boat while he was working, and he had to have a place for her, and that was the birth of seeing Anna in the show, and Anna has grown and grown. We've been lucky to have incredible actresses that played her. The first one that played her seriously was an actress named Sarah Baker, who really kind of took Anna to the level she's at now.
Oh, cool.
And since then, we've had several of them, and Alicia that plays her now she's incredible. She's made Anna about as evil as you can make her, which is what's happened this year.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Anna's last year was the resurrection of the William S. Mitchell. That was our theme, because COVID kind of made us
shut
go
down
away.
in 20.
Right.
We resurrected in 21.
Like I was saying earlier, yeah. COVID.
And this year is the insurrection.
Oh,
So
cool.
Captain Mitchell can't quite do it anymore, so if he can't do it, Anna's taken over.
Nice.
People
And-
love her. They come into her room, like if I'm on security and I'm hiding in a hallway or whatever. People come in. Oh, where's Anna? Where's Anna? And the character.
yeah.
Oh, you'll see her. But I can't wait to see Anna.
Like,
Wow.
what about me?
Yeah, exactly.
Right,
But
like,
yeah,
for real,
But
for
they
real,
love
yeah.
Anna. They love the captain.
Yeah.
They really enjoy seeing them and
it's-
interacting with them.
Awesome.
It's so fun to see people actually identify the characters and know them when they come in.
Right,
and
for
hear
sure.
them talk about them in line.
Yeah.
Wonder what Anna's doing this year.
I was at a haunted house in Florence, Kentucky when I was in high school. It was on US 42, and it was only like a pop-up. It wasn't like, it was only there 1 year. And it was done pretty well, man, for considering like it wasn't like a big budget thing. But they did something there that blew my mind, man. They were walking around listening to people's conversations while they're standing in line, and the guy had a walkie-talkie, and he would reiterate people's names, like, hey, the guy with the eye patch, his name's Jay.
They love it when we do that.
Oh my God, bro, that was so like that was fear beyond like the girl that I was with. It was fear beyond anything I've seen when they called her name out there in the middle, like, we were in the middle of the thing, and then they were just called her name, and she was like, what the hell, like, ran, dude, just freaked out.
If we're on security and you happen to be up at the front door and we find out a group's coming through for a birthday, okay, Bob's having a birthday. Bob's wearing a gray sweatshirt
There it
with
is,
this logo
yeah.
on it.
Yeah.
We'll run through the house. Okay, Bob's coming.
Yeah,
it's his birthday.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
birthday,
that's awesome,
guys.
man.
That's awesome.
Well,
that's amazing. That's extra work that you don't have to do, but it's going the extra mile, man.
It
And
gives
that
it
is
more
really
fun. It's more fun for
Exactly.
'em. Yeah.
I was gonna say, so you mentioned a story earlier. You mentioned there's a story with it, and we haven't touched too much on that other than Anna. Can you dive into the story a little bit, where it came from, maybe the history on it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Send it back to Steve.
I am the story lord.
That's all right.
If you're a
That's
Rick and
all right.
Morty fan, I'm a story lord.
Yeah, nice, yeah.
Yeah, we work hard on the story, and I guess the biggest thing to take from it is the William S. Mitchell itself is a living entity. It is evil incarnate. So when people think the captain's evil and Anna's evil, they weren't. They were made evil by being on that ship. But there's a lot of different factions that go into it, and several different storylines that you see. And actually, we really enhanced one. Terry was a great help at bringing up one of our bigger storylines this year. But I guess there's three basic good storylines. The first is the boat itself and the crew who have been infected and been distorted and that are living and reliving the hell that was the Mitchell. Okay. And everyone blames everyone for what happened when really it was the boat controlling them all. So there's a lot of that going on.
Infected with what?
That's a good question.
There you are. That's what I'm here for.
That's a good question.
That's what I'm here for.
It's evil.
Let's dive in. Let's dive in. Let's go down the rabbit hole.
Now,
let's go.
The other thing that really came into play is that was the Nightmare. The Mitchell is a dredge ship. For people who don't know what that is, those were large steamships. They went up and down, and they worked on all the rivers, but definitely the major rivers, the Ohio, the Mississippi, the Missouri, some of the bigger rivers that had a lot of ships traveling on them. And what dredge ships did is they went in and basically dug out the bottom of the river to make it deeper, especially closer to the shore, or even cut into shore to make pathways through a little bit easier. So that was what they did. So a couple of things. First, there was one of the officers is a dredge master who really takes care of the equipment and the pipes and keeps the pipes clean, because as you're digging all that stuff up, sometimes those pipes get jammed. And the dredge master actually, in cleaning the pipes, has become a collector. As he becomes more infected too, he was getting distorted, and at one point found an artifact that intrigued him. And as he interacted with this artifact, it actually seemed to have possibly opened up a portal through the boat that allowed demons into the boat. So there is some
like a parallel universe.
Yeah, it's like a parallel universe. So there's a little bit of that going on. The other thing that happened with the Dredge Master is while they were dredging in the 40s, they dredged something up that they didn't know what it was. As the military got word of it, they kind of stepped in to see what was going on. And this is a time, if you remember, in World War II, where there was a lot of talk of the Axis trying to deal with the supernatural to try to get an edge up. So this was the chance for the Allies to kind of come up with something. So they actually came on board and kind of took over for a little bit, and to investigate this thing or whatever it was they dug up that could possibly be alien, whatever it was. They didn't know what it was. And with that, the storyline has really grown this year, again with the help of Terry especially, of that military takeover and them trying to create. And again, we throw homage out to different things, and it's not always just horror where we get some of our ideas. So a lot of us are like massive Marvel fans.
Yeah.
So big into Marvel.
Absolutely.
So
Same.
we took a little bit of the Captain America story and started playing with that. So that story of them trying to build, there's always been a faction of the crew that's trying to create the perfect crew. The ship scientist has always been trying to create the perfect crew for the captain, along with his mechanics. And they all are, as we found out later, they're all working together to try to create this perfect crew member, which is kind of the idea of the super soldier with this stuff that they found. So with those three different factions, it kind of ties. Think of Trick or Treat, where you got three different stories, but they all tie together.
Yeah.
That's kind of what we've done there, where all these three different factions of the crew, these otherworldly whatever demons that have come through this portal, and this military might and what they've been doing and creating, they've all kind of come together to tie in to create the whole story. Okay.
See, that's so fascinating, because I mean, obviously that's the depth is way more than when what meets the eye, obviously. So like people are seeing it and they're getting scared because they see something that's referencing that they know from the past or whatever, and it just scares them more than others. But when you think about the story and the depth that goes to it, it's like you're creating like you're creating a movie,
Right.
you're creating a whole different. I mean, really, that's what it comes down to. Like, I feel like you're in like
when he was speaking about it, like I just kept thinking about
Director.
Project Blue Book, man, or like one of those
Yeah.
like where I can't remember. I was trying to look it up on which one it was, man, where they were trying to make the ship disappear and reappear.
Oh, Philadelphia experiment.
The Philadelphia experiment. That's
Yeah.
it, man. Yeah. So like that's a crazy
I
thing,
love that
man. Yeah. That story's insane. We're like, did you ever hear about it?
no. Tell me,
Dave, you want to take it over?
let's go.
It was during World War II. The U.S. was working to develop a way to make their ships invisible to the enemy's radar.
Okay, I've heard about that.
And,
Yes.
I can't think of the name of the ship, but it was in the Philadelphia harbor. Is that right?
Mhm. Yeah.
And they conducted this experiment, and the ship supposedly literally disappeared. Not just from radar, but it disappeared.
In general, okay.
And then reappeared minutes or seconds later, whatever it was, and the bodies had like fallen
Morphed.
through the metal and conjoined with the metal, or they were just burned alive, or just crazy injuries. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like bodies were like morphed
It's like
right
you see
into
a
the
hand
wall.
out of a wall or
What?
whatnot. Yeah.
Oh my. Okay,
Cool
so
stuff. It's cool
what
stuff.
what year? What time period?
During, gosh, I'm trying to remember my history. 43, 44.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
the 40s.
40s. Okay.
But that's another
Wow.
conspiracy theory you're gonna put on there because that's
Yeah.
Project
Yeah.
the Philadelphia experiment, which is like
Yeah.
declassified now, where you can actually read about
Like
it.
read
and
about
stuff,
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do my digging. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So that's
Are you
that's
into
cool.
conspiracies and a bunch of
Yeah.
stuff like that?
Where you at
Some
with that?
more than
Yeah.
others. It's like I've always been interested in anything time travel. I just find very fascinating.
Yeah.
Oh man, John Teeter's my guy.
Yeah, John Teeter, man.
He voted this place the #1 clothing store 2037.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He's one of those guys that like people still talk about, and we don't even know who he was. Like they're still talking about just some internet dude, like, you know what I mean? So like, and they're talking about it to this day as if it just happened. So it's fascinating. There's so many good, like so many conspiracy theories that are so realistic and so believable, but it's like, is it though? I don't know.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And
Like,
you got to make sure you can't
Yeah.
latch on to all of them. Man,
Can't-
you latch
yeah.
onto the wrong one, all of a sudden
Right.
you're a weirdo, dude.
right?
That's right,
Yeah,
that's
the
right.
tin,
No
that
doubt.
tin hat, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Um,
we were
you
talking
can't
about,
go Alex Jones on it, man.
Or yeah, fair, fair. But with you also, like, so conspiracy theories and all these different like ideas that people come up with and crazy stuff. Is there ever a time when you're just sitting at night, laying down, and be like, "This is a totally original idea. This is going on the boat next season." Like, is there ever a thing where it's just completely from the dome?
Oh, I bet your minds are running 24/7.
Like, I can only
Oh,
imagine.
yeah.
Like anything, insights, any ideas that people can see in real time now.
Gosh, on my phone, I've probably got a list of 20 things that I've written down over the past year.
Okay.
Things to try, things
Yeah.
to bring
Yeah,
up.
because it's your world. We're living in
Yeah,
it.
I
So
mean,
like,
Terry will get an idea and he'll send me a message. Hey, thinking about doing this. Maybe we can experiment. You know, that sort of thing. That goes on all year.
Flamethrowers over there tonight.
I know. So
Secret.
you were talking about
Yes.
about flames, and you're like, I don't.
Yes.
The boat hasn't burned down yet. Like,
Flames.
Terry, get on the mic over there real quick.
yeah,
man.
talk
Slide
to
that
us, my
over to
dude.
you.
Talk to us.
So what are you doing over there at the USS
Let me
Nightmare,
help you
man?
out there.
I'm tech and
Yeah, and Andrew's gonna help you out. It's just stuck on that little lip there. Just pull it up a little bit. Sorry about that noise, everybody. There we go.
testing.
Hey, like a glove.
So I do tech, I do acting. I pretty much just run around and help anywhere I can.
You get to like Danny McBride, the place, man. Like Tropic Thunder. Like you just walked over here. You're like, the place isn't burned down yet. I'm like hearing the stuff in the background about what you're doing over there with smoke or fire, and I'm like, he's like a Danny McBride over here. He's over here, Tropic Thunder, like fuck. He said, go, go, go.
Well, and
Sometimes.
And I will
Tony
say-
and Mark does a lot of it, but yeah.
That's
They're-
awesome.
They're
man.
still down there right now testing and making it work so we can have a working prototype.
A working prototype. Are you allowed to talk about it right now, or people got to
I
come
know
down
Dave
and see
hit
it?
me, so I can't.
No, it's not up to me.
What?
I don't care.
I mean, we're just really working on flamethrowers for the top of the boat right now.
Oh man, hell yeah, dude! That's gonna be great for those shots over a beeline, man. When people are over there taking those sunset shots, and you
Yeah.
guys are just like devil worshiping right over here in Newport.
And
That's gonna
Terry
be
undersells
great.
himself. He's the driving force between some of the ideas, and he spends a lot of time when he says he wanders around the boat. Terry's an incredible actor, and he spends a lot of time going through, working with the actors, especially the newer actors, helping them get their feet underneath them,
Yeah,
understand what's going on, and finding great ways to create a good show for everybody. So don't let him undersell himself.
for sure. It's got to be intimidating for one of those actors to try to be scary to everybody all the time. You know what I mean? Like, especially when, I don't know, man. There's got to be a lot of emotions that run through the actor as they're waiting in the pitch dark to jump out on somebody. You know what I mean? Like, that might be an incredible job, honestly, bro.
It's
Like,
definitely not
what's
for
that?
everybody.
I wouldn't think so, because you're scaring people, and then people's natural reactions are a lot of times to punch or push or scream or pull or.
Yeah, get defensive.
I mean, my first.
Oh yeah, you said something about that today, right?
Last weekend.
No kidding. So what happened to you?
I was in the clown room. I have this horn thing. It's very bright and it's very loud.
Mm-hmm.
And I was sitting like in a corner. But I was very visible. And I guess I scared somebody and they just went like, and I was like, oh, yeah. Thanks.
Oh wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
just for no reason. Just people just. Yeah, it's wild,
I
man.
mean, I've been put in a chokehold, so
Yep. Shoved in the
That's
walls.
that's not a natural reaction. At least a punch is
Well,
like
it is when you're slamming them against the wall.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Snake on the
I
slamming snake.
wasn't touching them.
Ah,
I
I was
touch
not
them.
touching them. I wasn't even like 6 feet away from them.
that's great, man.
I was allowed.
I know.
Yeah,
So-
I can say in my 35 years of doing this, there's not many things that haven't happened. I've been kicked, bit, punched, spit on, stepped on, sat
Yeah.
on.
Thrown into
It's
a wall.
yeah,
Peed in the
it's-
first scene.
How many of those have apologized right after? Like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. It's just natural reaction.
Many of them.
Okay, cool.
Most, that is for a lot of them. It is.
Yeah.
There are some that come through looking for trouble.
Kids,
but
yeah,
usually we
kids,
find
yeah.
them and get them out pretty quick.
For sure, I bet.
One of the nice things about us is we have a special room, our security room that's dedicated
Hey guys.
that's dedicated
It's Beavis
to
and Butthead.
It is Beavis and Butthead.
You can
to
tell them.
monitoring
Are they?
everything.
They want? Are
Yeah,
they? They your
that's-
people?
you know,
Yeah, they can come on
Yeah,
in.
that's Tony and Mark. who were-
Absolutely.
The boat burned?
That must mean the boat burned down. Maybe. They're up here.
Mayday! Mayday!
Is it burnt down?
No, it works though. It's very functional.
Very cool.
Awesome.
What's up? What's up?
Hey,
Check
what's
that
going
out.
on?
Welcome.
Taking it up higher work.
We got a beautiful
Um,
flamethrower.
Nice.
Man? Oh, very
Yeah,
cool,
we've heard
man.
about
That's what we were kind of hinting towards. We didn't know if we were allowed to talk about it or not.
Well,
So you
here you
got-
are.
Well,
Cat's
we
out
can't
the
do that
bag.
because we
Mark,
got it
what are you doing
working.
over
So
You guys got
yeah.
hell's fire going right over the
Yeah.
sunset over there.
That's awesome.
So they've got flamethrowers at the top of the USS Nightmare.
Yeah.
So as you're taking those little sunset shots of beeline,
Right.
we have a prototype.
Fire.
So
Yeah,
we've
that's
got
cool.
the prototype built, and we should be, if everything goes well, have those up and running. If everybody agrees, we'll have them up and running. Hopefully by this weekend, maybe.
that's awesome, man.
Some safety checklists and make sure
Right.
everybody's relaxed about them.
Right?
And that
Oh
is
yeah.
one thing. Safety is the utmost.
Gotta
I mean,
Absolutely.
cross
no matter
those
what we
T's and
do,
dot
we
the
still have
I's,
to-
man.
We follow all the safety rules.
Yeah, gotta be safe. That's
Especially when it
that's
comes to
it.
fire, man. Last thing we want to do is sink the ship.
Yeah, no, we don't,
Yeah.
you don't want to
Almost
burn
all of our
down.
boats have come down from fire, so
No
It's the
kidding.
welder. It's usually a welder.
Yeah.
That's-
So what do you do on the ship?
Myself and this guy, gentleman over here, we do all the automation controls and
We can hear him. We can hear him.
Oh, you can.
Yeah.
the automation controls and kind of fix anything with a plug on it at some point.
Okay.
He does a lot of the programming for us. Terry helps us with that as well.
Fix anything with a plug, man. As soon as you said that, like I started to fray because I'm thinking of a boat and how much water is just like probably just seeping in from the odds and ends, and you've got like all this electrical work going on. It's just like
If it doesn't exist, these guys can make it.
Right.
Like
Oh,
Steve
really?
said, they sell themselves short.
Yeah.
Man,
they will make.
I need to talk to you guys, dude, because this place is pretty interactive, and like I've built like the 7-Up door and all this stuff I did myself, but from the life of me, I can't figure out how to just make a locker door open and close by itself. That's it.
Super easy.
That's it,
Do a
bro. I
little
built.
gear motor with a crankshaft.
I know, man. I'm like I've never built. I've never went to school for any of it. I've kind of just been one of those guys that just like I could probably do this, and so like I was able to build this big 7-Up door that's like 300 pounds, and it has to be like featherweight, and it's this perfect juxtaposition of like this placement, but I can't get a locker door to open and close.
Yeah, like I said, you can want a Granger or McMaster car. They sell these little gear motors. You can come in 110 volts, 12 volts, 24 volts, whatever you want.
Easy as that.
As slow as you want, and then you can just put a little like a round disc on top, drill a hole, and then when it rotates, it just pulls the door back and forth.
That's all I need, man. I was gonna subscribe to one of Mark Ropert's. Is that his name, Mark Roper?
Yeah.
I was gonna subscribe to one of his things just to learn how to build that fucking thing, man.
It's fun.
I get a kick out of making stuff like that, man. Especially like when you do it and it's yours, and people are like, "I want this in my house." You're like, "You can't get it."
Best thing I can say is learn how to weld, because you can make things a lot smaller if you can work with the metal.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. If I knew how to weld, bro, I'd be a
The
force.
difference between a bad welder and a good welder is how long you've been doing it.
Right.
So, I mean, it's just practice.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Can I hire a welder? Are you a welder? Do you know what you're doing? You're expensive.
That's fair.
Bourbon? Is that it? Bottle of bourbon.
No, you got to pay for what you work for, man.
I mean,
Absolutely, bro.
That's the thing. I mean, welding is not my trade. It's just something I've been kind of doing on side stuff for.
You got to, man. You got to learn out like all the aspects, man. If you only know just what you're good at, you're not going to expand, bro, for
That's
sure.
kind of the world today, though. I mean, everybody's very individualized on their job, and like we see it at my work as well. It's like one person's job is to do this. It's like what happened to that do-all guy? And
For sure.
It's very rare anymore.
Yeah, Gary Vee talked about that on his podcast a couple weeks ago or last week. He said, he's like, I know how to do everything in Vayner media.
Mhm.
Like I can do it all. I can't do it great. I can do it good.
Yeah, he can get the job done.
Yeah, I can figure it out. Like I know how to do it. I'm not great at it. Like that's why I hire people.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's
Hired specialists. To get
and
it
that's
done.
and then you got to have that mentality, bro. Like I know how to do it, but I can find somebody that can do it better. So let's get it done.
Exactly. High quality.
I'd rather see
yeah.
somebody that knows a little bit about everything than somebody who specializes on one, because they're more multi-talented. They're more, I can use them like in my profession a little bit more. You can turn a wrench and you can, mount some this or whatever, or line this or wire this. If you can do a little bit of that at a time, that's.
Oh, for sure. It goes a long way.
I think it means that they can learn, and learning to be taught is pretty much the most important thing. I mean, people take to education differently, but if some people can take it in quicker and at least get the basics, and you can build on the basics, you know what I mean? So build on that base. Learning is huge. That's why like education is such a big thing, is because if the people who can learn is what people want, the companies want. If you're able to learn, that's everything.
Mm-hmm.
If you're stuck in your ways and you're like, I'm just gonna stop where I'm at, you know what? You're gonna see a ceiling, but we're trying to like.
That's like that with everything, though, man.
Yeah.
Even bartenders, bro. Like I found time and time again where like bars would want to hire somebody that didn't know, that wasn't 10 years in.
Yeah.
Because they've already known like the bad habits, so they would rather train them and treat them the right way instead of like hiring somebody that's been 10 years and knows how to skim the pot. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Train them in their style instead of.
Yeah, for sure.
Own.
I can see that. There is one facet though, like doctors, like when it comes to the eye, like the retina doctor only knows the retina. He doesn't know shit about the cornea. Like it's so crazy, man. Like I had to go to different doctors for different things, and I'd ask this doctor something, he'd be like, fuck, you gotta ask that guy. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was, and like I liked it at the time because I was like, I like the fact that the cornea specialist is only doing this, or the retinas guy, like this is his specialty. But coming back and thinking about it, I mean, they did fuck up the eye. They didn't fix it. So I wish I would have had somebody that had all the traits, that knew, like, if I did this, I might mess up that one, because that's exactly what happened. But
I wonder, I mean, the eye is a really sensitive area, so I'm sure there's... I wonder when you know everything about it, though. You know what I mean? Like, wouldn't all the eye doctors know it all and then, like, focus in one? Kind of like dig down to
Do you
it?
think they should?
That's- I
Yeah.
don't know.
That would make more sense than just being like,
I'm gonna
"Bro, I don't know shit about the back of that thing."
good luck.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, figure it out.
I know why the eye's blue. I don't know why you know
Right.
why the shit fell off the back of
Right.
the eye though.
I mean, yeah, specialists are for everything, but I mean, you got to be able to. I think that is the attention to detail when you come down to it, of being able to know the ins and outs, the backs and the fronts of every detail of something. That there's a lot to this world, and it's very complex. So, the specialists are there for a reason, and we gotta appreciate them.
All right, so tell me about this RIP show.
Yeah.
You have a special show. It was great meeting you, man.
Eating all day, so we're starving.
Absolutely.
Hey,
yeah.
there's some pizza on the table over there.
That's right. We're ready to go run like the brothers here.
All right. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, yeah.
They got some good food,
Enjoy,
man.
yeah.
That barbecue mac and cheese is fire, bro.
Yeah, the buffalo chicken mac and cheese is amazing too. Yeah, man, it's so good. Yeah. Yep.
So the RIP show. What's the RIP show about?
Yeah, our RIP, we have different layers of the show. So you have a general admission ticket, and you're going to go through and you're going to see the entire show. You're going to interact with all of our actors. But there is an option to do what they call the RIP, and the RIP is kind of
it's like
unique.
VIP.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Really
You get a cool
important
flashy
person.
necklace.
But
Okay.
what happens with the RIP show is we have 6 areas in the boat that we've been able to that were underutilized, that we've been able to open up. And when you're doing the RIP show, first your interaction with the general characters is going to be a little bit more. Generally, we'll tell you we don't touch you. We try not to touch you. I don't want to say we never do, because
Right, 'cause it happens.
we do get close.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's inadvertent. But they'll take that a little bit closer, and they might do some, I'll say, light touching if you're doing the RIP show. But there's also going to be 6 different areas in the boat where you're actually going to go off with a lead actor.
That'd be incredible if you just had the lanyard on and then you just got like literally pulled in.
And that can happen. I mean, you can get separated too.
That
But when you go,
that would be terrifying.
When you come by into
where did
an
Andrew go?
Right.
You know what I mean? Oh shit, where'd he go?
Yep.
To the secret door.
Yeah.
But when you come in as an RIP guest, they're going to interact with you a little bit different. And a great example, the best example, I'll give the example of one of the first ones is our vampires. People were like, why are there vampires on a ship? Well, these vampires were actually, what people don't know about Captain Mitchell is he was kind of an entrepreneur. When he was down in New Orleans on the Mississippi River, he was approached by somebody who asked him to take on some cargo. No questions asked. He's like, sure, no problem. It ends up that what the cargo was some coffins from Eastern Europe. It was a family of vampires that had been kind of devastated. There's a lot of families over there like that, and their family got attacked, and they're trying to rebuild their family. And I thought the best way to do that was to come to America where they're not known.
You can
And,
feel free to pop open a liquid death, girl.
Get a liquid death.
That black one's
I didn't know what it
sparkling,
said.
so that's sparkling water, and this white one's regular.
And there's a mango as well.
So
Want one?
So these coffins are being transported, and then in the crash they came open. So the vampires that were in there are now back amongst the living and trying to rebuild their family. So if you're an RIP and you come in there, you're probably going to be a good candidate for them. So they're going to take you into a different area of the boat, and individually with you, they're going to take you through the rituals to become a vampire.
Oh wow!
Which may or may not include drinking blood and some other things. So
Oh, shit.
if you're an RIP,
Yeah.
you're going to come into some areas like that where you're actually going to have a different interaction than the general guest is going to have.
Wow. Okay.
And generally the show adds with the RIP, we have one of the areas is a 5-minute escape room that we built in where
Oh, that's
where
cool,
you have
man.
to try to the crash has occurred, you have to fire up the radio and make a mayday call to try to save the ship. So things like that are some of the RIP experiences you're going to have that you wouldn't have in the general admission.
Okay, that's awesome.
okay.
And it adds about 10 or 15 minutes to the show.
That's awesome.
That's
though.
great, man. I like
Yeah.
that you keep calling it a show too, because it's entertainment, right? It's
Right.
not just a a haunted house.
Yeah, our goal is to make you, like you said, feel like you're walking through a movie and you're part of it.
For sure.
That's what we're trying to do for you.
Like I said, trying to create a movie. That's literally what I thought of when you're explaining these stories and the three dynamics and every back end. Like that's a movie. That is that's a 3-part movie.
It's
for
a movie.
real.
Yeah, when he was
a
talking-
book. Every character in there has a story. A lot of people used to say one of the things that we always got a lot of questions on was our clowns. They're like, "You're a ship. Why is there clowns on a boat?"
Yeah. Okay.
It's like, well, let me tell you about that.
Right.
So, back in the 50s, that's even up to today. That's how Circus has traveled, was the railroad.
Clyde Circus.
So Clyde Beatty's Circus, there was a railroad strike in the early 50s. Clyde Beatty's trying to get Barnum and Bailey and some of the big circuses, and he's like, ooh, he makes a deal with the entrepreneur, Captain Mitchell, because they go city to city to say, hey, when you're going to a city to dredge, can we come with you and we'll put on our circus in that city?
Right.
Their
okay.
goal was to get a leg up on all these other circuses that were bigger than them because they could still get around. The other ones are kind of grounded. So he started traveling with Captain Mitchell, and they did that for probably 12 or 15 months. And then as the railroads came back into working and that wasn't efficient for them anymore, they left the Mitchell. But unfortunately for them, Anna, the captain's daughter, who is a spoiled little brat,
Yeah.
fell in love with the clowns. So Captain Mitchell made it very poignant that the clowns weren't leaving. So the clowns stayed on board to entertain Anna, because Anna, a young girl on a ship, nothing to do. She needed entertainment. So that was her entertainment.
Okay.
So that's
You're never gonna leave,
Bro,
Like,
you tell stories where
That's
like
amazing.
I swear to God, if you went under a lie detector test, they'd be like, he's telling the truth.
right? That really.
It sound like you sound like you're just telling a story about something you read out of a book. Like that's what when you're saying like it sounds like a movie. Like that's exactly what I was thinking. Like when he's telling it, I was thinking to myself, is this real? Wait a minute, what did I miss?
Right.
This is a real story?
It's like the storytelling is so like, I almost feel
Detailed.
like detailed, but I
Yeah.
almost feel like it's the realism that you put within a just a total, just bye, see ya. Yeah, the realism that you're putting in these stories is, it's so like you're a writer, man. You're really writing like deep rooted stuff that is carrying over to, I mean, people are, like you said earlier, they're bringing their kids. They're bringing their kids there, like, for tradition. So your writing is going into tradition.
Shit out of them too.
Yeah, right. We're gonna get them right, but like your story writing is going into tradition, and that is, it's rather impressive.
Well,
It
thank
is,
you.
yeah, man.
Is there an age limit to the USS Nightmare?
We will always, you'll hear us recommend, if you called us, we would say, we generally recommend 13 and over, but I will always tell everybody, you know your kids better than I do.
Yeah.
My daughter was down there 4 years old and acting in there. And
Not normal.
And,
Right.
well, yeah, you're not. but
my kids.
But a lot of us have. So it depends on what they've grown up with and what they're around.
Yeah. I would say kids, they're taking in. Some are so little they're probably not scared because they're just not sure what to be scared of. You know
I
what I
get
mean?
scared of this story.
Especially in this day
They
and
have.
age,
They have.
they're desensitized. There's so much more. Like you said, horror's gone mainstream. Most kids can probably, better than I can, pop on Netflix and watch anything they want, and
Right.
Yeah.
horror's very prominent. So
Yeah.
they're kind of desensitized to it. So really, we always say your kids better than we do. So
Yeah.
Right.
it's really up to
Recommended.
you.
Yeah.
Just don't ruin it for everybody else. That's all we ask,
Right.
right? Like don't. Yeah.
There'll be parents going through and they're like, "Don't scare my kid. I paid so much money for this."
Yeah. Don't
Yeah.
scare
Of course,
them.
I'm scared.
Where are you?
Right.
They paid so much money for this. What do you want us to do?
Right.
You're right. Our scenes
get
will
paid
scare
for it.
you. So like, all right, what do you want us to do?
You're talking about characters in the story, and Steve has just put his heart and soul into this story.
Oh yeah.
You go through the house, every single character can tell you something about every other character on the boat.
Okay.
Oh,
Like
cool.
when you get upstairs, you tell the cook I'm tired of his daily special. You know, or
Right,
whatever.
Right, that's
yeah.
awesome,
Just tie
man.
in
Every
together.
character can tie in with every other character, and people love that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They just love that.
Yeah.
They'll go upstairs and say, "Hey, so and so told me to tell you this." Well, you see him, you tell him this. You know.
Yeah.
Love that stuff.
That is a great dynamic though.
That's attention to detail, man.
Yeah,
That's that Disneyland shit that you were
Yep.
talking about.
I love the Disneyland.
Yeah, yeah. You said that earlier, dude. Because he was
Disney World, bro.
He came back from Disney World and he was like, "Bro, we got to get better. Like this is like." He's like, everywhere I looked, like you could look underneath the park bench and there was something there to entertain you. Like
Yeah.
there was what eggs or footprints or something.
in Dumbo Land, the concrete is built in, and they have peanuts all over that are spray painted, and like all over the floor. But it's just a part of the, you know what I mean? And it's just there's attention to detail, and they're putting everything everywhere that's and this is just public are walking on this. This is not something that's you can move. So like all the details of every little bit, and like I've grown up going to Disney World. I was lucky enough to have a family that worked at the airport. We were able to travel. It was awesome. But seeing that as like in a space where now I'm making decisions on how to improve a store where we do the interactive aspect and we have you know our hidden room and whatnot, and just seeing their level of detail, I was like, man, all right, their level of detail is something we really need to take note of because that's what someone else is out there thinking of. So it's time for us to step up our game. And obviously you're probably thinking of the same stuff, like how can we step our game up? Because they're, you know, whether it's in a movie or it's another haunted house, someone is thinking of something that you haven't thought of yet. And you're like, all right, well, let's take our spin on what they're doing because they're getting their shine, you know? Yeah.
Right.
It's the mind's crazy. So when people come up with stuff, it's not against you. They're just in their space thinking of something unique, and you're like, you know what? Homage to you. Let's do it right here. You know what I mean? Like
That RIP thing is super dope, though. The fact that you get like a little special treatment, and you might be pulled back into a side room that you know you get something else that no one else gets to do.
Yeah.
You know, because it's like when it comes to a haunted house, it's you know, it's a train, right? Like you're waiting for the next room. So if you get pulled out, and then all of a sudden you're not in front of the people or behind the people, like you know, you got this little special treatment. Like people will get a kick out of that, dude. Like that is such a good idea, man.
It was the idea was kind of born, you know, thinking of you think about a linear video game where they define the path and you can see around it, but you can't get there.
Right.
Yeah.
Compared to an open world, and we're like, let's open this world up a little
Right.
bit and give them something that they haven't seen before.
Right.
So try to make it feel a little less predictable.
Yeah.
Do like a make it so this one comes in and the chef has to give like a private lesson to him to a group of people? That'd be sick.
All right, so I've got a question, man. Is that 13-story haunted house for real? That the one that our buddy's grandfather's cousin went to and didn't make it because there were snakes on the 11th floor. Like we've all heard that story, right? Like
And they got $1 back for every floor they
they
made.
got $1 back,
yeah.
and if you made it to the top, you get all your money back. But like. You know, that was one of those, and it was always just the city away. It was like, oh, it's only like an hour away, I heard, right? But it didn't matter where you were in the United States. Like, this thing's not real, right? Like, I'm sure you guys...
Now, I can't say there isn't one out there, but there's not one that I'm aware of. It's been an urban legend for as long as I've been haunting.
Since I was a kid, I heard about it. I grew up in Chicago, and I heard about this thing being an hour away. And then I moved here, and I was like, it's only like an hour away.
I heard about it, too.
No, that doesn't make sense.
So is that not a real thing? I thought it was.
No,
and I've even had I've even had a couple actors that have told me when we were looking to hire that, oh yeah, I worked at that.
Oh,
you
bro,
did?
that's the greatest resume builder because you can't call them.
I can't explain exactly where it was. I'm like, okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
I was on the 10th floor and I was allowed to like hit people with a stick if they made it there. I'm like,
if you got up to that one,
all right, I got you.
Yeah, and then the 11th floor, you got electrocuted.
Rejected.
12th floor had snakes, and then the 13th
Devil's
floor
rejects.
was like,
You're not one of us. Yeah, like that. I heard about it too. Like I thought it was a real thing, so I don't know.
Yeah, it was like your buddy's friend went, right? And it was like
Something
only
like
like an
that,
hour
yeah.
away.
Yeah, I thought it was always like somewhere like Southern Kentucky, somewhere in like Louisville area. I don't know.
Now, I will say there are some incredible haunts out there
Sure.
that would rival what they say happens there, but they're not anything where you have to make the floor and get money back. But but there are some really, really incredible hunts out there throughout the country that are definitely worth seeing.
For sure.
So would you say your top maybe 2, maybe 1, 3, how many that you really like pay like close attention if they're making updates? Any of those that you're mostly interested in? Any shout outs?
I mean, unfortunately, I haven't had a chance to see a lot of them because I've been
busy on your
doing
own.
this
Yeah,
for so long.
right.
But
exactly.
I will say, I'll do a shout out
Sure.
because last year a friend of ours got married down in New Orleans,
Okay.
right after our season, like 2 weeks after, and we were down there and were able to actually experience a haunt called the 13 Gates down in New Orleans.
Oh wow.
I will
Okay.
tell you, it was
Good.
a pretty incredible journey.
That just sounds great. Like
Seems
being
like the
in New
panel all
Orleans
agrees
too.
here. Panel all agrees. 13. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
dope.
it
I
was.
was not
And
there.
they
Not
had
you?
farting. What was it?
It
Mammoth.
it was so immersive and Hollywood quality.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
what's up.
Every room.
And that's
Yeah.
the best, man. When you get those, like
I mean,
the Hollywood
smells and just everything.
attention to detail.
Every sense. I mean, yeah, very cool stuff.
That is
you
cool.
walk through one and you could look up at the sky and there were stars.
Oh,
you were
wow.
walking through the outside of
You're
an English
outside.
town.
You talk
But
about
you're
Disney,
inside.
it was like Disney
Right.
quality in every
Yeah,
room.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, there was rooms outside too. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, so it was outside and inside.
Yep.
Graveyard outside and yeah.
Ice
Cool.
caves and
All right. Appropriate placement. Yeah, that's awesome. So they're thinking. So like, how big is this place?
Oh, it was a big building.
Yeah, I
Like
couldn't
couldn't
tell
really
you the
see the
square
whole thing.
feet, but it was
It's like a Walmart-sized building, just like an open thing, or is it?
Oh,
like
I-
Actually,
something?
At
30
least.
minutes to walk
Oh,
through.
at least.
a good 30 minutes, yeah.
Oh, it's that big.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right then. All right, that's serious work.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
the 13 gates are basically 13 different sets, and each set involves several different scenes. So they have a scene that's dedicated to Jack the Ripper in London, and you're walking through several. I mean, you feel like you're walking through the London streets. I
That's
mean,
awesome,
it was
dude.
pretty impressive.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's great.
So they literally put you into that, like that world,
Right.
not just a little quiet.
Yeah, it's not just
one room. Yeah,
not
exactly.
just a room with Jack the Ripper. It's you're in a couple scenes that
You're
all
in his
tie
town.
together.
Walking down an
Yeah,
alley
he's in this one little corner, and you're walking through the rest of his
there's a lot
town,
of other things going on.
preparing for him. Yeah,
So it was pretty impressive.
Yep.
So
that's
that,
awesome.
that gives us a goal to shoot for.
Yeah.
And we've been going in that direction anyway. So just we're probably we're a smaller scale. We're kind of limited on our size because
Absolutely,
we're a boat.
Right.
which is the beauty of yours, though. Like if you really get down to it, like they're dealing with towns and space, open space, and anyone can do with anything with space, but you're confined to a ship.
Right.
And the story with it, now that we know the story, that's something that really needs advertised, like, because I would never have known. I've known about the US forever. We're talking like this is a staple with tradition, and I never knew the story, the three dynamics like that, and then who knows, you could add a fourth, fifth, sixth dynamic. There's no reason to stop. You could be like, oh wait, there's actually this little key, and you could continue on to about that key. It doesn't really matter, but like the fact that you have these stories, you're dealing with a whole other realm of movie making and on a ship. That's super cool, man. Like you definitely have affected so many people around here. They come down the levee like, man, we're going. Have you gone? I'm like, I haven't been in a while, but like I'm trying to go this season, man. Like it's just getting started. So like,
Yep.
yeah.
You definitely got to stop down.
So what are the days of the week that you're open and hours?
Beginning this week,
Yep.
we start our regular schedule. So we're open Thursday through Sunday. On Thursdays and Sundays, our ticket booth closes at 11. So as long as you've gotten your ticket at 11, you'll go through the house.
Oh, great.
It's not like we just close the doors at 11. Ticket booth itself closes at 11, but
Go
we
until-
run the show as long as there's people online.
That's
And
awesome.
then on Fridays and Saturdays, that goes to 1.
Holy cow!
same thing.
Man, you guys are getting out late.
Yeah.
Oh,
Just to start it over on Saturday morning, man. Holy
Especially
cow!
those last couple Saturdays. It's 2 and 3, and when we used to do, when we first started our extreme shows, we used to do a 2-hour extreme show. So on Fridays and Saturdays on the last weekend, we would close our regular show at 11, and we would start the extreme show. And there was nights on extreme when we would be there till 4:30 in the morning.
Okay.
And so what was the
What's the
extreme
extreme
show?
show? Yeah, tell us more. We're interested. You said extreme show. No one's gonna tell.
Yeah.
The
Keep going
extreme
from
show
there.
is kind of fun. We started this
Kind of fun.
probably 2011.
That's what I'm getting there. I'm there. I'm right there.
And
Yeah.
it was, and like Terry said, it was actually kind of designed for the actors as much as the guests. But the idea behind it was there's been a group of hardcore haunt goers who want something more than just your general show. You know,
For sure.
when you walk in and the people are like, they don't touch me, they're like, are they gonna touch me?
Right.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
all excited. It's like, so we thought we want to do something for them too. We don't want to just we want to show off for the families, for the young kids and stuff, but we want the hardcore people to go out and have an experience that
Yeah.
They want a fright
That,
fest for
yeah,
sure.
they
They
want
came
that.
here to get the shit scared out of them.
It's darker.
So-
it's foggier. It's
yeah.
Are you guys allowed to touch them, or
Yes.
it's
Oh, yeah.
cool?
Turn the dial to
very
11.
hands-on.
Turn that dial
Damn,
to 11.
really?
Turn
Yeah.
it to 11.
Turn it to 11. Right.
I mean, there are minuscule safety things that we do. We do try to be conscious when we're
Of course,
touching
yeah.
and
Can't give
grabbing and
anybody a heart
throwing
attack.
at where we're touching, grabbing, and throwing.
accidents happen.
But we were, but that was the whole idea. The whole idea was, one, to give the actors a chance to cut loose, because you're in there and you're trying to scare people and you feel like sometimes you got
You got to dull it
blinders
down,
on.
yeah.
So this is a chance. It's like,
And these
you
are
know,
actors. Like these people want to
Right.
play this part for sure.
and it's like, we want to give them a chance to let loose, and the people who want to see that, it gives them a chance to go see it. There are some haunts out there that are designed to be more extreme, but there's not really a lot around here. So this was a chance to do something like that. And one of the fun things that we tried to do with it too is we allow the actors to redevelop their character for the extreme show and develop their gag or their scare or whatever they want to do and come up with. And some of it is, I always say, think of the old Fear Factor.
Oh yeah.
There's the scary things, but there's also just the gross things.
Right, right.
The greatest example I have of that is a character we call Pooh Man. We have a bathroom scene, and Pooh Man is Pooh Man, and you come out of there wearing poo.
Oh shit.
So
He
yeah,
covers
exactly.
his
Oh,
entire
shit.
body with
Our
chocolate
galley-
pudding.
Our galley
So-
has
Oh, wow,
real
okay.
animals.
So, but each actor can come up with a different idea.
Oh, that'd
So-
be amazing. Being able to lick the shit off your arm in front of somebody.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
right.
And
Dude.
every extreme show is unique because a different actor might be in a different scene and come up with a different idea.
Yeah, they get to like go outside the box. They get
Right.
to color outside those
Yeah,
lines.
yeah.
Yeah,
So to speak.
inside the box.
Is that
So,
happening this year?
Yes, our extreme show will be November 4th and 5th. It's the
first
last
weekend
weekend.
in November.
We've expanded our extreme show to be full nights now.
Okay.
When we moved it to the last weekend because we found that when we were doing it on a night when there was still a regular show going on,
There's a mixture.
we're in the middle. People were
didn't-
showing up expecting the regular show, and then it was extreme, and they were like,
I mean,
"Oh,
that's pretty smart too, because towards the end is where like the tail of it's trickling off, so then you can get
Right.
the real Fright Fest people in there that want to
Exactly.
go for it. So that's a great way to end the season too,
Yeah.
man. With
So-
letting your actors be themselves and jump out of that character and really play it.
Yes. So
That's
you'll
great.
see a lot more gore. My makeup team, it's
We start
as
early.
much as we can, it's all hands on deck. So I try
Mhm.
to have all my makeup artists there. If characters have a specific incredible makeup they want, we're already going to be doing a full body.
Dave, you need a
Um,
shot, brother?
No. I got bad knees.
Yeah, cramped up, man.
Yeah, I know it's a while. I mean, we've been going about an hour and a half at this point. So yeah.
We already
If
have,
you need to pop up, take a stretch. man.
Restroom even. You can jump up and.
but we already have an actor we're doing a full body prosthetic on.
Oh wow.
We do a lot of body painting. So our makeup team tries to start around 2 or 3 in the afternoon and goes
Man.
till with all of us. And we do a lot of tag teaming. We'll do a lot of custom work on these actors.
For sure.
And then you will get. We always like to warn people. You will probably get separated from your group.
And don't wear nice clothes.
Don't wear nice clothes
Yeah,
because you
yeah.
will be wearing things.
Yeah. Why would anyone wear a nice clothes?
We had
You'd-
somebody
like, why would
come
you-
through
why would
with-
you
That,
go?
that would be
Somebody
me.
come
That
through
would be
with
me
nice
wearing
leather
nice shoes, not thinking about it, and then getting
Right, the nice
getting
shoes.
shit put all over them.
or a
Right.
nice jacket because it's cold and they'll end up having a nice leather jacket on or something. It's like, I want to leave that in the car.
And then they get
Yeah,
mad
man.
when they get something on it.
Oh, I
We had
bet.
a lady
I
had a
bet.
fur that got damaged, didn't we?
Yeah.
Fur?
The
Fur?
actors will be very physical with
Oh
you.
man, that
The
ain't
language
cheap. That is
is turned
nowhere.
up.
Nowhere is
It's
that cheap.
definitely an R-rated show.
Yeah.
An
Yeah, I
R-rated.
mean,
R-rated?
very hard. I will say hard R.
Hard R.
Is it terrifying? Is it too scary to go to? You guys are kind of freaking me out.
This
now.
Yeah.
we definitely recommend don't bring your
It
kids.
just depends. It's a much more physical show. And it's funny we have like it's the crew this crew here. We don't get in the house and act anymore like we used to, except on
I
Extreme
do.
Night.
Bad
Well,
news.
she does.
Oh shit.
So on Extreme Night we do.
Okay. And you guys get to
Clown
let
we
movie.
get to
loose.
play too. Yeah.
Oh, that's
Right.
terrifying.
And one of the
That
things
is
that
terrifying. Yes, it is.
one of the things that we did is, and it was interesting, the way we got started doing it is, for a whole show, you're telling your actors, okay, don't touch them, watch the language.
Behave.
Then all of a sudden on the last 2 nights, we're like, go ahead and do it.
Right.
And they're like,
Yeah.
I can't turn that switch on.
Right.
So what we did is we put together a group of us who have been acting for a long time, and said, you know what, we're gonna roam through the boat and we're going to go into the scenes and we're going to let these actors see what they can do.
yeah.
So we are pretty brutal, and for a long time we just did different. Each night was a different theme, and then it was weird about probably 4 or 5 years ago, 6 years ago, maybe longer than
The posse.
No, 8
No.
years ago.
8 years ago.
Been that long?
One of the years, one of the
You
guys
were
like,
8
well, let's
years
do
sniper.
let's do
That's nice.
clowns. It's like clowns, okay? He's like, well, we're not gonna do regular clowns. We'll do like the old hobo clowns. It's like,
Classic
okay.
hobo, white
Captain
face,
Spawn.
red nose.
So-
Yeah.
Some of
Bald.
you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we, it's funny. Like all these guys put on bald caps, except for me. I put on hair.
Right. Right.
But
But skeleton on him.
Right.
So we started doing this, and the clown posse went around, and it's kind of like
Bullies.
Abbott and Costello meets
We're obnoxious.
the
we're
Firefly
rude.
family.
Business and
Yeah.
Sarcasm is our main language.
Right.
Yeah.
And we try to be brutal, and we're gross, and
You're the Three Stooges of the horror world.
yeah.
That'd be
I say take
fun.
the Three Stooges and the Firefly family and put them together, and that's what we
Yeah.
try
Oh,
to
man.
do. And we start out in the line, and I mean, it's not unusual for one of us to be carrying a big old sack that we just throw over somebody's head and pick them up,
It's not usual for one of us to be carrying that either.
Right.
and we pick them up.
Do you want me to-
Okay. Yeah. Let's see it. Put it on the camera.
Yeah, give it to him. We can he can put it right up here for you.
But we'll grab someone out of line,
That was our group.
throw a big bag over their head, and carry them in the house and drop them off somewhere and just leave them go by
Oh, wow.
themselves.
Wow. This is awesome.
But the
Oh wow, that's cool, man.
but as we started going through and showing the actors, and they're like, "Oh, we can do that. This is awesome."
Right.
And then
For
the
2
next-
days, you can only do it for 2 days. So
yeah, for
First
2
weekend in
days.
November.
That's
That's
why we do it
awesome.
at the end.
The
so then,
clown
like
posse.
the next night, we were going to do something different.
right.
And our general manager comes up. He's like, "Is the clown posse coming? Are they coming out again tonight?" It's like, no, we're going to do something different. He's like, "Well, I got like 60 people down here. Came back down again tonight to see the posse." It's like,
You're
well,
like fucking mount up.
I guess
Wow.
we're doing a clown posse.
Time to
And
do the
it's-
posse.
It's kind of grown, and we've grown and grown as we do that. And Terry got involved. His first couple of years, he was working. We have a simulator similar to the elevators that you talked about.
Oh,
that,
dope.
That takes you through the crash of the boat. And we developed a game called Boxing for our extreme night. So people will be in that elevator or that simulator, and when they open the door, the entire clown posse standing at the door, and we just bum rush every one
Oh,
of them,
shit.
shove them to the back.
Pin them up against the
They're
wall.
all pinned against the wall.
There's handcuffs in there.
We shut the door, and then when the simulator starts its show again, it's Fly City. We're just
Shut
grabbing shirts
up.
and tossing people.
it
It's
ain't
Oh.
it's an experience, and people come out
In the
like,
dark.
"Oh my God,
the
this
dark.
is it's pitch black." We changed the soundtrack. It's a really upbeat.
Can we
soundtrack.
film this? Can we
Yeah.
can we put a GoPro on one of our?
Can we be a part of it?
I built this hat, so I've got like a flat bill hat that has a 1080p by 60 frame per second camera that sits right over my eye,
Oh wow!
so I can just plug it right into my phone, man, and then just run with it as like an iBorg is what I call it, bro. But I would love to run. I mean, you guys got me scared now, man. I don't. The only reason why I'm okay with haunted houses is because I know that they can't touch me. So if they can touch you, it's like no holds barred. Like
yeah.
I don't know what's gonna happen.
All bets are off.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, then you're in trouble.
Yeah.
If we know you, yeah.
That's the thing. If I know you're gonna get double the punishment.
Right, and now we know each other.
Yeah.
Sometimes we do have a heart. Like for example, I think it was this past weekend, I was on security. One particular room, I saw the door open up on the upper deck. I don't even think I told you about this, Steve, but a couple came out, young woman, young man. She was crying.
Oh.
She was crying, and she was so upset. And I said, "You guys all right?" I mean, yes. I said, "You guys okay? What's going on?" And she's like, "I was just overwhelmed." She was like having a panic attack. So I kind of talked her down off the ledge, and the boyfriend was very supportive. And I was like, "Okay, when you go through here, they smell fear. So do not hide your head in his back or his chest."
Right.
I said, "You walk in there, chin up, and you're going to get out of here just fine." And she went
that's
back
the truth,
through.
too.
She was a trooper. She went back through. But, yeah, she was
Smell
balling.
blood
I
in the
felt so bad
water,
for her.
bro. Blood in the water.
That's the absolute truth too, man. If you wanna, if for all 18-year-old guys right now that want to go to a haunted house with a girl that you just want to go on one date with, like, be that guy in the front and keep your chin up, like you said, bro. Because I've walked through these things so many times where I've had to be the guy in the front, and as long as you're walking through with your chest up, like, you could even make eye contact with these actors, and they'll wait because they'll be like, I'm gonna scare your girl, bro. You're good. You know what I mean? So then you get a double bonus, because not only were you like the lead where you walked everybody through, but then she thinks this shit was scary as hell because every single actor was
coming
scared.
at her. Yeah.
And you're like, yo, I was just looking at these dudes like, oh yeah, right here. Her name's Jennifer.
Right, low hanging fruit, right here, right here.
Low hanging fruit.
Yeah. I'm here for you, but she's right here for you, bro.
It's surprising how many people like sacrifice their friends.
Oh,
They're just like, yeah,
I
here's
can
their
only
name, I'm gonna leave you
imagine.
here.
Right.
I can only imagine how many people just pull other people right in front of them,
Or
like.
they point to them,
Right.
like right here.
Because there's like always someone that's like a little more sensitive than the rest of them, and they're like, she is your target. We might get scared.
I mean, you
but
don't even
she
need to
is-
say it though. Like you
Just
said,
point.
they smell
They
it. The second
yeah.
they walk into the room,
the
they're
body
like,
language.
"This is the
Well,
one I'm
it's-
getting."
Yes.
With
Right,
each person.
ticket booth, you know what's going on.
It's
Yeah. Oh yeah.
it's
Even in line. Yeah.
it's really
Even in line, lines where you get the
Right.
information, people are
Well,
talking.
it's like Dave said, as we're doing security rounds, we go around, we walk through the parking lot, we're checking everything out. We walk through the line. We like to just kind of glance, because sometimes you can tell if there's going to be an issue. But it's funny, when they get to the front of the line, you always see them jockey for position. And you'll see
I'm not
the,
going first. You
the
go
people who are
first.
scared are like, yeah, you're going first. I'm going. And I always tell them, I'm like, I'm going to tell you a little trick. If you were working in a haunted house and you wanted to scare people, where do you think the most scared person is going to be?
In the back.
And they're like, in the middle. I'm like, everybody knows that. And then they're jockeying to be first and last.
Right,
It's
right,
hilarious.
yeah.
But it's true. I mean,
Right.
the actors know.
Yeah.
The
Oh,
scared
yeah.
people are going to be in the middle.
Yeah, the
So-
person in the front, it's
It's-
like, I'm not getting
It's,
banged by a
it's
bug. I want
anybody
this
that
one.
has the head buried into the shoulders of the
Yeah.
person in front of them. That's the
Yeah.
one you're gonna scare.
That's
Yeah.
Some of them are literally wrapped around the person in front of their neck.
Oh, I
Why
bet.
would you pay
I
that
bet.
much money and not even look at
Yeah.
what you're going through?
Yeah, seriously.
That's fair. Well, maybe in the case they just had to be there because they were a part of the group, and they're
Right.
like, "This is what we're doing," and you're like,
It's
"Yeah,
like when you go to Kings Island, everybody wants to ride the Diamondback, and you don't, but you're going to ride it because you don't want to be the only one that doesn't.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I'll carry the purses, bro. I'll be the little guy on the side with 7 purses over my shoulder, just waving.
right."
How are you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
Right.
like roller coasters too much.
I don't
man.
mind them. Jobs. I mean,
Is this
at least jobs are, though, yeah.
one of the USS Nightmare shirts?
Yeah.
Yeah, a few years back.
So do you guys sell merch down there as well?
Sure.
Incredible,
Yeah, I'm
bro.
not sure what they have this year, but every year they do have shirts.
No, this is
Our,
Sweatshirts.
yeah, our new
Oh,
shirt
yeah,
should be
30th
coming out. I'm
anniversary,
hoping they
yeah.
come out this week, and it's a 30-year anniversary, and it's
All of the kids.
it's a logo with a lot of our different logos from different years.
Okay.
Which is kind of cool. It's kind of a fun throwback.
If it doesn't work out, I know a guy that can print some stuff for you. I could have it to you by 9 tomorrow morning.
Oh man, that's awesome to know because
Yeah.
you never
We
know.
can, yeah,
Hey,
absolutely.
we're hustlers, man.
and we're real close by.
Me, Andrew, and Tyrell, we'll knock it out, bro. And
Yeah.
we can even, if you want to, like honestly, we can probably house some of the stuff up here for you too. If you guys don't have like a very big spot to sell merch, I'm sure you guys gotta catch them right when they're walking off the ship. Like, hey, here's the stuff.
Right.
But
Yeah.
Yeah, you walk off our exit and come up past our photo booth and merch, and it's a smaller booth, so it is.
oh, you got a photo booth too.
Yeah, we do. We do. When you step on the boat, you have your photo taken, and then we do.
Bro, you need to advertise these things, man, because
Yeah,
like
we
that's
do
date night. All like
Yeah.
everybody's. This is date night for everybody in October.
Yeah, and then they offer 2 or 3 different backgrounds that you can pick for it. And they are actual scenes from inside the boat that we use as our backgrounds.
Oh, very cool, man. That's something that's very valuable, dude. Because I was talking about this a while ago, man. Like Newport on the Levee's always been a date night spot. Like this place has been here like 25 years or something, and I remember 20 years ago, like when you went on a date, like this is where you went to. You went to the movies, and then when you came off, you went to Bar Louie, or you walked around here, and
Right.
like you had the Millennium Robot always doing the robot dance outside, like.
Yeah.
This thing was like always a date night spot, man. So like this is like that's something, when people go to haunted houses, typically it's hey, I want to ask this chick, or I want to go out on this 4-person date or whatever, but that's perfect, man. Being able to capture the moment, beforehand or afterhand,
Yeah,
like
yeah. And
Yeah, I mean,
everything in one place.
Right, it's great. You get the movies, you got the game.
Velocity, yeah, Velocity,
That's
bro.
right, I
Their
had to think of
food
the
is
new
so good too, man.
You got the restaurants, and then we're right down below you. I mean, so you can do the shops. We're doing some work. We're here with you guys. We're one of the other shops in here, Pink Moon, is very interested in working. We've been doing some stuff with them.
She's great, man. She's
Yeah.
awesome. I love her.
They're a fun little shop. My daughter can't wait to get over there and do a little shopping.
Spend some money for
Yeah,
sure. Yeah, they
definitely
got some
spend some
cool
money.
stuff over there.
But
Yeah. So Pink Moon, they're located inside of a trade with the J. Salandino, and a couple of the art, and then I still can't pronounce it right, bro.
Cerberus then. C.
See, you said it. You said it like I said it, and it's wrong because you added
Cerberus?
2 R's.
There's CEB. So
Yeah.
it's Cerberus.
Cerberus.
Cerberus. Yeah.
I always
I
said
would say
Cerberus.
Cerberus, yeah. I did it naturally, but then
I
it's
don't-
like, yeah. But
They're killing it.
they're killing. They're doing great. Honestly, like I see them. They come over to the store. They came the other day, said what's up to us, and showed some of the guys the lab. But like they're doing great, dude. They do like they'll have like game nights where everyone comes down to the levee and just.
It's
they'll
all
play-
that shit I missed out as like in high school,
Yeah.
like all those games, like
Yep.
I don't even know what do you call it, man. It's not Pokemon. The other one,
Magic.
Dungeons
Magic
and
the
Dragons,
Gathering.
Magic the
Yeah,
Gathering,
Magic
yeah.
the Gathering. And
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
They do a whole like tournaments or game nights. There's like I think I'm not sure if they do like a full tournament or like you check them out. They're awesome, but they'll be way after trade closes and they'll still have lines of people still playing. Like
Yep.
they have a community and it's thick and they have a good time.
Yeah, their community is probably very similar to what like our haunters are. You get
Oh, yeah.
like-minded people who have a common interest and they just really click. It's we're very our community is very artistic in many different venues. I mean, it's not just acting. It's the set design. It's the technicians. I mean, the stuff that Terry and Dave does all of our visual art. The guys that were here earlier doing all our technical art. But all of us
Fire.
are some kind of artist that
Yeah.
coming all together and making a common project is incredible.
It's a lot of pieces to make that ship move, literally, man.
Yep.
So it's great to see that you guys have been, in here, like you said, you've been here 8 years, and it sounds like you've been here longer than Terry, yeah. But just having that longevity, man. So what do you guys do in the off time, like when? I mean, you guys.
Is there off time?
So
Like
Do you-
9 to 5? Like our 9 to 5 kind of a thing?
yeah, man. I mean,
what
like
is-
Technically, I'm in IT, but I hope my boss isn't watching.
nah, that's
But
awesome, man.
My background is in the print industry. I've been graphic designer, I've been an art director.
Okay.
Published catalogs, that sort of thing.
Awesome, man. My dad was like he's a legend in the printing industry. Passed away about 12 years ago, but like growing up, I didn't realize how influential my dad was. Like, you know, he started from the very bottom of a printing press, worked his way up to like the top of the food chain at Continental Web. And so when I was growing up, like he was printing Sports Illustrated magazines. Like I was 10 years old going to school with the swimsuit magazine 2 months before it came out. And like I'm walking around like showing all my friends in school, and my teacher's like, give me this. Like, and I'm like, you can't have that. You're not allowed to have. That's not even allowed to be out yet. And like, you need to give that back to me at the end of the day.
Right. You listen to me,
my
lady.
dad will get in trouble for that.
Right,
You
you
gotta get
listen
that
to
back.
me, lady.
Yeah. But yeah, dude, it was so cool, like seeing like the printing industry, how there was one thing this guy said, man, because I worked for my dad for a couple of years, and this one guy goes, I got the greatest job ever. I go, why? He goes, I'll never lose my job. And I was like, why is that? He goes, as long as people are still smoking Marlboros, I'll be printing their packs.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like thinking like if anything goes awry, like there'll still be a company that needs to print the packs of the Marlboro packs.
Yeah, it's on your hat.
Yeah, hey, shout out
of all things. Yeah,
but that was just one of those things. It was so crazy. Like, because when he said that, like that was just some old man talking shit, right?
Yeah.
But like that, like still resonates to me because like he understands.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah,
and it still resonates to this day. Like printing, you know, is going like by the wayside when it comes to magazines and the whole, you know, reading the day to day. But you know, it's never going to disappear for sure.
Well, no, it's media. It is literally advertising.
Yeah,
and it's never going to go anywhere because we're visual creatures, as you know on a ship that you're scaring people with visuals, audio, you know. But visuals are everything because when like let's get down to food, for example. When someone gets food in front of them, the first thing they do beyond smell it, they see it, and if it looks good, it's most likely going to taste good. And the visual aspect, even on that level, is everything. And then you get your other senses involved. But the eyes, if it doesn't look appealing, and in your case, you don't want it to look appealing. You want it to look the opposite as such. So like, and I'm sure when you're setting the designs and the makeup, you're probably like trying to be like, how can we really just gross them out? How can we just really push the envelope? You know what I mean?
That's a good question. Is like what's the one thing that you think, okay, this is the icing on the cake, or this is the like I always talk to my wife about having like the magic in the sauce, where like, you know, you can make candles, but you gotta have something that just like is the icing on the cake that just makes them want to buy that candle. Like, so when you're trying to create something that grosses somebody out, like what's the one thing that you always lean towards? It's like, you know, because for me, it's like I don't even like saying the word, bro. Like maggots it's done. Like there was like when I
Slipknot.
see
I think
like
Slipknot.
here's the two most vulgar words in the English dictionary, and they're not even curse words.
Moist.
And when I say it to my wife, she gets so mad. Moist maggots. I say
moist
that.
magnets.
Moist maggots, bro.
Gross.
I say that, and she's like, "You're a fucking asshole."
Right. You put that in that universe. Get out of here. Go.
I mean, you could say anything, but those two words together are just so disgusting on so many levels.
Yeah. Moist is the first thing I think of. When I say moist, I'm like, all right, cool. We good. I mean, yeah.
So when it comes to like either set designing or like creating a character, is it the ooze that comes out that really that solidifies the icing on the cake, or is it like I was somewhere and I saw like maggots in a mouth of one of the actors, and it was just like I think it was the USS Nightmare. I think it was a couple of years ago, but I can't remember where I was, man. But like that just like is so gross to me that it just freaks me out. You know what I mean?
Maggots and spiders. Just oof.
Yeah.
Oof. Yeah. What's your go-to? What do you?
It really. I mean, every person is different.
Sure.
So we
do
a lot of things.
Yeah.
The first thing is to make it as believable as possible. So,
Right.
Okay.
And then sell the whole product. So like I said, the things that help us when we're doing makeup is excuse me, if the actors
You
have
need-
the contacts.
you
Liquid
can
Death
pop
is
open
right,
that
yeah.
Liquid Death right there.
That's all you. Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
if you're asking for more bourbon, we can give you more bourbon.
We can do the bourbon. We can do Liquid Death. Shout out Liquid Death again.
I'll do some liquid.
Yeah. Let's go.
So if the actors have the contacts, and we can do that whole thing. But then it's to make it believable, but take them out of the human realm. Because if you can make them look alive but not human, that throws your senses off.
Yeah, and that goes back to the
Yes.
eyeball thing that he was saying. The difference between like the masks and like being able to see their eyes and
Right.
really
Yeah.
like connect with the people.
So
Right.
when they
Sure.
can talk and they're uninhibited, and you see those contacts,
Without that lower chin, yeah.
you know, and if the makeup artist done a nice job and hit all the aspects of the skin, hit the back of the neck, the hair, everything, and we try to pull all that in, and then you can start going for the gross stuff. And like you said, if I'm doing
The teeth.
the teeth,
Teeth.
Mhm.
Okay.
That's a big
Teeth
part of
are
my
huge,
character.
man.
Teeth.
Black
Yeah.
the
teeth.
tooth effect,
Black
and
So
stuff
all
like
this
that.
gross makeup, but white teeth, it just
Right.
doesn't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good for you
It
for
ruined
noticing
it.
that.
It would ruin it.
Hands,
Yeah.
arms.
You know, they look incredibly gross, and then
Wrinkles.
they have the dentine smile. You know,
Yeah. You can't
so
be in a
that
Crest
helps.
commercial.
That's another movie thing too.
Yeah.
Is like back in the '80s, is you can always tell who the bad guy was or the serial killer because he always had dirty fingernails. Or he always had dirt in his teeth.
I'll tell.
And I'm sure that probably has gone away now because people are trying to get away from that old like '80s, '90s like you know, white versus black, light versus dark when it comes to movies. But that shit is so interesting, man. When you
Right.
go back and see like. You can tell that these characters are going to be the villain at the end of the movie because they got mossy teeth.
If I saw Beetlejuice with clean teeth, I'd be like, bro,
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
you're scary, but come on. Bro.
How are you brushing your teeth right now?
How exactly are you doing? Do you have that much time on your hands, like to brush your teeth? You're
Brush,
supposed to be,
brush.
yeah, bro.
Brush,
like,
brush, brush.
when are you taking a break? Like, I mean, that's the thing is like the teeth are it's huge aspect. You know what I mean? It's
It
and
helps.
like yeah,
and like you said, the nails. You know, getting dirt in the nail beds and
And the
stuff.
arms.
But and then taking it that next level. If I'm doing someone in the galley, then I am going to include maggots or roaches. One of my first times I ever acted in a kitchen, a galley scene in my first haunt. One of the things I thought was kind of unique is we had all these, you know, fake rubber roaches.
Mhm.
Okay, so you got fake rubber roaches sitting there and I'm moving around. It's not a big deal. I thought, let's take this to another level. So I threw a bunch of them in my mouth. So when people came in,
They fell out of your
roaches
mouth.
are crawling
Yeah.
out of my mouth. I just push them out in my hand, and you know, it just took it to another level.
Oh yeah.
So when you can include that stuff in that scene, you know, and if I'm doing vampires, it's going to be a little bit different. There's going to be more blood involved. You know, we want to do the gore. You know, when I'm doing a crew member, it's really selling that zombie look and that fetid flesh and
Drowned
that.
look.
Yeah, so and we'd use a lot of the drowning look because we're a boat. So we,
She's getting good because I can tell that she's adding in like the proper terminology, like as she's correcting pops
she's
over
come
here.
a long way. And then when we're doing set deck, it's the same thing. It's adding those little details.
Yeah.
Things that, you know, 70% of the people don't see.
Mhm.
A great
Old
example.
cans.
Yeah, I mean, great example. I'm going to go to one of our new scenes where we're doing the serum work, and Liz created her own scene, and it's in an insane asylum, and she has a name, but they call her patient number 9. And when you're walking through the super soldier, you'll see a clipboard with all the test information for patient number 9 in
Oh,
that
yeah.
scene. And later you see patient number 9. Those little details are what help sell the whole story.
That's incredible.
And then, like you said, taking the gore up and having things in there that just make you feel unsafe. That's what the goal is. We want to take you out of your safe zone.
But there's
Make
also
you
a lot
feel
of
unsafe.
Easter eggs.
Yeah, we do have a lot of Easter
And
eggs.
that's why I noticed like when I was talking about that bathroom, like I swear, like I'm for sure that no one else saw that when I was walking through, and I can't remember if it said employees only or bathroom or something, but I popped it open and there was. I think there was like a zombie taking a shit. Like I swear that's what I saw.
You are
That might have been me on security.
exactly right. That was a
he
scene
was
that
he
we
was
had.
literally he was just sitting there on the toilet and he was like, close the door.
Yep.
And I was like, what did I just
what did
do?
I just do? Right.
That was the exact idea. is to
And
make
that is so incredible because like
So it's
like
not a part of the show?
maybe one out of no it is but maybe
But not.
one it's just as you're like I said these like when you go through a haunted house, you're in like a train, right? So
Right,
you're
yeah.
basically going from room to room, but like you're following this train, and there's just a door that says employees only or employees bathroom, and just
Yeah.
I just hit it, and it just flipped open, and he was like, "Get out of here!" Like just slammed the door.
It's
It was
like,
just
do not touch, but touch it.
yeah, it was like just
Yeah.
a zombie taking a shit, just waiting for somebody to
That's
open the
amazing.
door. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
incredible, dude.
That was
Because
like
that's exactly what people do. You know, human nature is if it says don't do it, you're going to do
Oh,
it.
trust me, dude.
So-
Oh, we
Yeah.
know
We-
we know
we've-
more about it than
we
anything.
know
and
it
that-
very
and that-
well.
Yeah, so
We
there's a
know it
couple
well.
places we've always had a couple places where it says, you know, do not touch, and then when you do, there's going to be some kind of repercussion.
Yeah, we literally like when the kids go into the there's Greg. So as soon as we get the kids into the white room, so if they find all the clues to get into the lab, then they're in the white room by themselves because that 7-Up door closes and we don't have anybody but cameras back there. And there's a box that says, "Don't touch this shit," or "Don't touch this. Don't touch this
the
button."
shit. Yeah. Don't
Yeah.
touch the shit. We're watching.
And yeah, don't touch the shit we're watching. And every single time they hit it, and then this little baby head comes out and plays this weird music, and then
Yeah.
you know, but
Yeah.
like we expect it because these kids like if you say don't touch it, goddamn, they're gonna put
They're
their
gonna
hands all
touch
over
it.
it.
Yeah, I've had people like, "Can I touch this button?" I'm like, "Yeah, you can touch it." that is kind of the point, but not like you go ahead and touch
But
it.
that
yeah.
was that was such a cool aspect, man, because you're paying somebody to sit in a room that maybe 1 out of every 70 people gets to experience. So the fact that you guys go above and beyond with attention to detail, which is just like, hey, if you guys open up another door, there's going to be something there for you.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
Every part of this ship is accounted for.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like I feel like even if I got lost in like the bowels of the ship, like I would find a zombie in the basement just
right.
like crawling
Putting
around.
coal in it, like already, like getting this rolling. Get out of here! I'm trying to keep this float, bro.
he's literally in a skeleton outfit. Like
Yeah.
I've been down here for 100 years.
Right. What are you doing down here? There's more to the story. Go upstairs. Like, yeah, I'm busy, bro. But
That's
yeah,
amazing.
That is amazing. And like we were saying earlier, like some of these people have these open worlds and a lot of space to use, and you're doing it on a ship, which like is iconic. Like just gonna say that straight up. Like it's iconic because that's like, who would have thought a haunted ship? You know what I mean? Like just
30
like,
years strong
like
too, bro.
straight up, yeah. And like it's amazing. And like on top of that is the story. And we talked about the story, but like that's what I want to keep going back to is we tell a story with our story as well, true story, and then we have a little bit on like the fun fantasy side with the mad scientist line. But like it's storytelling that really makes the world go round. You know what I mean? Like we're sitting in an era that we're seeing Netflix be more popular than it ever was before. Right. And we talked Netflix was like when everyone Netflix and chill was kind of a whole thing in the world, but like people are like Netflix, new things are popping up, they're stepping their game up, and just like that, we're stepping our game up, you're stepping your game up. Right. We all see the same totality of the world. So we're like, all right, we can't just stay stagnant. We can't just sit here. There's more out there. Like let's tell deeper and deeper stories, and it's awesome because the world needs our creativity to stay sane, man. Like we really do. We went through this whole pandemic where everyone's sitting at home looking for the most entertainment, instant gratification, what's happening. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
and you've got a point right now where like you said, people have been sitting at home and trying to they want to go out and do things, and then. And as an artist, as you guys are all artists, and every single year you want to one up the year before. Like that's the name of the game, is to make this better than the year before. So people keep coming back. And 30 years, bro.
30
like you guys
years.
have been doing this to the point where like parents are bringing their kids to experience what they experienced as a kid. Yep. And that's crazy to think that, because you know when you started this 30 years ago, dude, like you had no idea that this was going to become something that is a tradition in families. And like 30 years later, you're probably just sitting there going, man, well, like we haven't even got started yet, bro. Like we're just now getting into the flames and the LEDs and the gas and the pyrotechnics, like, you know. So
right.
I was gonna ask what's the difference is between the 29th and the 30th year, man. But I can already tell by the way that we've talked that like the 30th year is going to be so much different. It's going to have so many different aspects and the flames and the fire that we just now announced. No one even knows about that. So shout out to you guys for letting us even say that.
Yeah, thank you.
But that's so cool, man. And so has everybody, you've all have played a character on the ship before, right? Like you've all.
Oh yeah.
So what was your crazy experience with a guest that came on the ship? And I if you guys have
each
stories, I want to go right down the list, man. Because like there's always that one character that scared the shit out of me, and then I will remember him for always. And I remember the one time that my dad got scared, right? So there's moments where you did such a good job as your character that somebody pissed themselves or somebody had to leave you know what I mean? I'm sure it
created trauma.
I'm sure it
created trauma that wasn't there before they stepped on that ship.
More than you would think, that people piss themselves and don't even acknowledge it until they get out of there, man. But
that's the goal,
has there been moments that you're just I didn't mean to scare that girl to death, bro.
You watch their future happen in real time. You're like, I just traumatized her, and now I'm gonna stay in my room and go to the next person, but she is just about to be terrorized till she's I don't know, she's 13, 14, 15. She's gonna talk about that till she's 30. You know what I mean?
Any whoops moments?
Right? Yeah. Any? Will what? Tell us.
All right. I guess. The one that stands out to me the most in my first couple years working there, when I came there, like I said, when I started, I was I was a makeup artist and an actor at the time, and I was we did some over. I built a lot of sets, but
you do it all.
I can work with other people who helped design some of the sets. So, but my character that I was playing in my other haunt the last couple of years was a vampire, but it was based more, played more off of the Lost Boys style vampire.
Very cool,
the gothic,
man.
Typical gothic vampire. So, and that's kind of where I'll digress a little bit and say that's kind of where I got into storytelling, because when I'm acting, for me to act right, I want to create a story about my character so that I'm falling in that story, and that's kind of what I've done all the way through the boat, and that's how we kind of got into the
That's how good actors work, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So in my first and second year there, we were working as vampires. Now, when I started the Nightmare, I said, we were a house of Uncle Festers, except for a couple of characters, and the vampires were one of them. The guys who were there lived the lifestyle. The one guy changed his name to Brahm. They slept in coffins. Their beds were coffins, stuff like that. They really tried to live the life. So we're not going to rain on their parade. I'm not going to go in and take their vampire. That's their room. So one of the guys that I did it with came with me, and so we were working in an area of the boat that was totally different. We were downstairs. Now, I'm an actor. When two of us work together, we usually take turns, one guy being the setup and one guy being the scare, and we go back and forth. And this time we were in a hallway kind of setting, and I like to act high. I like to come off a high area when I act and come down.
Elevated,
when you're over the top of somebody.
Hey,
and
we're fine with either one. It doesn't matter to us.
I had to kind of clarify.
We're open-minded people. Yeah.
But,
right? Yeah.
But back then I was a little bit bigger guy anyways, but I was acting from
elevated. Yeah.
Elevated.
Yes.
And I would drop down on this railing. I'd still be over the top of them, but you get this vampire over the top of them. So, we got our stick going, and my friend that's the setup guy, Rick, he comes around the corner, and he's just got this look on his face, and I can't really see him in the dark. So I drop on this railing, and this guy, it was three guys, and this guy goes to the floor hard.
Oh.
And he's and I couldn't really see him. He's crawling. He they said he crawled through the next three scenes.
Oh.
And after he
on
left,
his stomach,
flat down. Yeah, he was terrified. So after he left, Rick comes up to me and he's like, "Man," he's cracking up laughing. He's like, "I'm glad that went that way." I'm like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "I came around the corner and I ran into this guy, and this guy was 6'7", 320. He's like, this was a big dude, and he thought, you're either going to scare him or you're going to come down and he's going to body slam you and you're going to be seriously hurt."
Yeah.
Now, I couldn't tell because I'm up high, so I just dropped down, and that guy, and I mean, his friends then were kicking him and just berating him all the way through.
Yeah, he's terrorized.
Because this giant guy was terrorized, and I didn't really. So that was probably one of my most memorable scares.
That's awesome.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That's great.
Scare the biggest guy in the room. Nice.
Yeah. And that's funny too, man. Because like most of those big guys are the ones that go down hard. They're the ones that are like, nope.
Bigger they are, the harder they fall. You're
Lizzie,
up.
what do you got?
What's up? Tell us.
This was in the clown room. This was when we had like this inflatable wall where you'd have to like squeeze through it. It was a
Those things are so dope, dude.
Yeah.
So dope because it makes you feel so claustrophobic.
Yeah. That's what we call the claustrophobia.
Holy cow! Like that is like I can't breathe when I walk through those things, man.
Yeah, it was weird.
So what she's talking about is like two like walls that are basically just like blown up with
Inflated.
air,
Big
yeah,
canvas
and you just got to
bag.
squeeze through them. It's like it's easy to do, but like when your adrenaline's rushing and the lights are off, and you can only like you're walking down a tightrope like that or whatever. Like, man, it's terrible because you don't know what's coming up next. Something's terrifying coming behind that thing.
Right. That's
All right. So the clown room.
Yeah.
So I had these group of teenage like, oh, I'm not scared. You can never scare me.
Sure. Yeah.
Oh, I'm
boys
sure
come
you guys.
through.
Oh, I'm sure you guys love those
And
ones.
so I was like, they were all acting all tough. I was like, you think you can get through this maze? And they're like, yeah, we got it. And I was like, all right, well, there's highs and lows.
Yeah.
So, and they're like, oh, well, we'll just duck. And I was like, okay. So I just dart off. And I meet them around this corner. I was like, you guys better get on your knees. Otherwise, you're just going to hit your head. And they wouldn't do it. So then I got real stern, and they just dropped to the floor. And they start just running, and I'm like running behind them. And all of a sudden, they just take off. I have no idea where they went. And I never saw them again after that. But apparently, I heard that they like crawled through like 15 scenes because they were so scared they were going to hit their heads.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You
And I don't
did
know
your job.
why.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were like, you're not going to scare us. You're not going to get us.
Yeah.
I had
They're prepared, but they're not.
Yeah.
Yeah. They think they are. Yeah.
And then they kept seeing all the other clowns, and they were just like, oh, my God. Because we all like knew how to get through, but they didn't.
Right.
They were just going off what the clown was saying. They're like, all right. Well.
I mean, you guys probably have like trap doors to get into like other rooms, like through like the.
Yeah, you gotta have secret doors. You have to.
My current clown is Disaster. Meet me, Pie Speed Clown. So like, I just dart off. I'm like, gotta keep up with the clown. And they're just like, I don't know where you went. And I come around the corner. They're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen a movie called Killer Clowns from Outer Space?
Yes.
Oh my God.
I love that movie.
See, good for you, pops.
Fantastic.
Teaching them well.
Yeah.
That shit scared me half to death when I was a kid, man. That's the reason why I don't like clowns today is because of Killer Clowns from Outer Space. But they just came out with Funkos, bro. They just came out with Funkos. I went to go buy them. They're already like $50 each. They've got the two original, the fat one and then the long skinny head one. And they're fire as hell, bro. Like sometimes they make these Funkos and it's just like, God.
Oh, they're so
good.
So good, bro. Some of the Funkos are amazing.
I always joke that Lizzie's into horror because when she was born we were sitting in the hospital, and the first time I held her, I had on Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2.
Oh shit!
And so I sat there and held her and fed her to that and read to her stories from Fangora.
Real one.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I see you hanging out with that My Pet Monster over there, man. I was so stoked when that came out, dude.
Yeah,
I didn't realize
him I have one of the original ones at home in my collection.
Oh wow, dude! They're like it's like $300 beat up.
Yeah.
Like they're worth a lot, man. I don't know where. I think my mom left mine in my attic, in her old house, but I can't. Like he was my best friend, bro. Like I used to wear those orange chains on my wrists. You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
And then so when they came out with that, I didn't think anyone knew who My Pet Monster was. I didn't realize how popular he was.
Oh, yeah.
And I made a shirt like. I made a really big shirt, but he was like blended into it, so it was kind of just like a shadow of My Pet Monster coming out. But he had the mad scientist eyeball, and I made it for myself. And every time I wear it, man, everybody's like, "Oh my God, do you have that shirt?" And I'm like, "I think I need to make more of these."
Yeah,
dude. Like I didn't realize that he was everybody's best friend in the '80s.
That's
right.
Yep.
Man, but that was cool. And then, you know what's wild is they came out with a bunch of those too. There was My Pet Monster, and then there was like a football version. He had like other buddies, but like. No one compared to him, man. That one My Pet Monster was a whip, bro.
He is. A lot of people talk about him, and then the troll Kashi 6'9".
Yeah,
he's another one on the table.
That was my first introduction to Funkos, man. I held off for a long time. I was like, I'm not gonna be a part of this, dude. Like, you guys are spending way too much money on these little toys. And then I bought one Funko, and then we tatted them up and turned them into Trollkashi, and then like the floodgates were off. I'm like, I get it now.
Yeah.
Like I want them all.
It's open season now. We literally sell them in the store. We have all sorts of collectibles, you know. What I mean? So people come in here and they're like, "Where did you get that? How do you have that?" We have a Light Bright. They're like, "You have a Light Bright Funko?" I'm like, "Yes, we do." They're like, "Stranger Things," and we're like, "Yes." Yes, that's exactly. You know what I mean? Like, and Funko is great because they cover so many like everything. They cover Pokemon. They cover sports stars. They cover just cartoons.
Legally Blonde. They just came out.
Legally Blonde. We got Britney Spears ones. You know, we got DJ Khaled. Like, you got everybody that's on a Funko.
Joe
man.
Burrow.
Joe Burrow.
All the anime is in there.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
everyone
they
can
got
be a
something
part
for everybody, man.
Yeah, for real. Like at home I have a Mega Man one. I have Sonic. I have all sorts of cool ones that like from my childhood. It's just like something for everybody, and it's high quality stuff. It's not like they don't cut corners. Every character's down to the detail.
Here's
you know what I mean?
Here's the way that I looked at it, bro. Like my wife, she goes and she buys like Christmas ornaments and like little knickknacks for the house for Halloween and Christmas and Easter and all this shit. So it's like, why don't we just start buying these Funkos where it's like The Office dressed up as their Halloween characters, right? So like I've got like Dwight with the pumpkin head on, and so we'll put those out for Halloween instead of like a little whatever, like things remembered or whatever one of those little cheesy things are you get at Home Goods. You know what I mean? Like at least this is like you got Dwight hanging out there with a
right.
He's hanging out with Mike Myers with a knife in his hand. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
Him and Chucky are over there just kicking it, and that's our Halloween.
Right.
That's our Halloween decoration.
That's great decorations for real.
All right, Dave, you're up, bro.
Yeah. Tell us your story.
Let's see. There was, it's been a few years back, and
I feel like you scared the shit out of some people back in the day,
Dude,
bro.
I'm sure you have ruined someone. They probably never stepped foot in another haunted house in their whole life because of a moment that they had with you. And you sit on this couch.
yeah. I've got, there's a lot of funny ones, but this one, I scared this kid. I mean, a few years back, I used to be in better shape. I was like a lot bigger, right? And I was in the galley, what we call the galley, and I played the butcher. Had a apron, big face kind of a thing, and a wife beater, and 3 kids come in. The other actor with me is a good friend of mine who's not with the boat anymore. He played the cook, and so my character, as these 3 kids come in, they were like, you could tell they were like wrestlers in high school or something. You know, they're well-built kids. And I walk up to him and I said, "Paul, I can't find my cleaver. I'm gonna have to take him apart the old-fashioned way with my bare hands." Kind of going like this, you know.
Yeah.
The biggest kid says, "Fuck this shit," and he ran out the door.
Oh,
And his friends were like,
we lost our bodyguard. Nice.
that cracked me up.
Oh man,
That's funny.
Fuck this shit.
It's all improv at that point, man. It's
Yeah.
like every time somebody comes in, you got something different to say to them, bro.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
That's hilarious. Yeah, I mean,
fun.
wrestler myself. I
There
understand.
you go.
All right, Terry, what's up, buddy?
Yeah.
Man, I don't know which one to say.
He's got a lot.
Oh, you
I'm
got,
sure,
we've
That was
got
a funny one.
we've got as much time as you guys got, man.
Yeah.
Well, I had the unique opportunity that I got to do.
Slide the
Hold on,
mic
there
over
you
to him a
go,
little bit.
You can't hog it anymore.
Yeah, it's
I
pass
had
it
the
back and forth.
opportunity where I got to do the crash simulator. So it,
The crash simulator.
yeah.
So that's
Okay,
the thing that he
yeah.
was talking about. That makes it feel like the boat
Right.
wrecked.
yeah, but once it got to the other nights, it was worse.
Oh, okay.
The extreme nights.
The extreme nights, yeah. There wasn't crashing of the boat. There was just people crashing in general.
Oh
Um,
shit.
So what was it, 2 years ago, Steve? 3
Yeah.
years ago, the
3
kid
years
that just fainted.
Oh yeah.
Oh, fainted. Okay.
Like, literally came in and it started and he just started shaking and just fainted.
Oh
Hit
shit.
the wall, came up bleeding.
Oh.
Like,
Yep.
yeah, just.
Yeah, I got the first aid call and I'm like, what the heck happened? And he's
you know,
like,
we're
it's
walking,
my fault.
We're walking
I
as
just
best we can through the crowd to get him out to.
So do you guys have like
Oh.
zombie nurses that are like
Yeah.
all bloodied and like taking
Well,
them out, and like
that
a
night it
doctor
was
with
Carla that did it, and she had her dead fish with her.
Oh my God, Fred.
Fred.
Fred is
Fred.
so old and he's disgusting.
Tell us about
10-year
Fred.
or
What is
12-year
12 or 13 years now.
13-year-old
He's freezing every
Fred?
off season. And
He's
he only
a-
comes out on
A
the
real
spring time.
fish.
Okay.
I don't know where she got it. 12
Oh,
years
the
ago.
butcher.
Good for her.
Every year she puts it in the freezer at the end of the season. The next
Defrost.
extreme night, she'll take them out, put them on a pole, and walk them around, and people kiss it.
What?
Sniff it.
Smacks
They
them
don't
in
think
the
it's
face.
real.
She
It's like,
fish
oh my
slaps
God.
them.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a real fish.
It's a real
He goes
fish.
Swedish fish.
Holy
Yeah.
cow!
Oh man, that's amazing.
We
Yeah,
always know when he's close.
you need to keep that. Every bit of that. That's amazing.
We
That
do.
is that is a staple.
year
If
she-
I,
He
had
as
double
far as I
digits
can
last
tell.
year, so we made him
And
a
it's
cake.
not just the customers; it's the actors too. She'll walk into the scene, just start waving the fish at them, and try to hit him.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
Oh,
it,
that's
it
funny,
started
man.
with the extreme night. We would we had a butcher that we worked with, and for our galley, he would give us a bunch of stuff that they didn't use to decorate our galley, and one of them was this fish. So she kind of incorporated it into her character, and like I said, she walks around with it now. And Fred's been with us now for 11 or 12 years.
Holy
And
cow!
like I said, he gets pretty rank there towards the end of the extreme night. And,
Okay.
and she's not shy with him, and there's a good chance you'll get fish slapped
Oh
at some
man.
point by Fred.
How many people are talking about that?
You'd be
Seriously.
amazed.
That's amazing.
They think it's fake.
Don't know how
It's fake. Give me that. Oh, kiss it.
I mean,
It's on you, bro. yeah.
people kiss the real goat heads and tongues
Oh.
hanging out and all that.
Put their
so,
finger in a goat butthole.
yeah.
What?
Oh, what?
How is that not the craziest
said
thing you guys
what?
experienced?
Goat butthole.
Is that all you picked up out of that?
On extreme nights, as a rule, I tend to bypass the galley because they've got real dead animals in there.
Okay.
And one year they had like the back end of a goat, and the people in there were telling the customers that if you put your finger in there, it will dispense Skittles.
What?
Holy
People were
shit,
putting their
man!
finger in the goat butthole.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, they're like,
That
"I'm eating
is-
Skittles."
Oh, that is.
So yeah, I don't go in the galley on extreme night.
When I say next level, that is next level. What?
So on extreme nights, what is it? The same price as a regular admission, or is it more expensive?
I'm gonna say I'm gonna plead the fifth. I think it's a little more, but I'm just gonna tell everybody our prices. We do some dynamic pricing, so the best thing to do is go to the website and it'll tell you, because they do some unique things on the extreme show as
Okay,
far
sure.
as like the RIP options are gone, but there's some
Because
front
you're
of the line
experiencing
type
the
stuff,
whole. Yeah.
yeah.
You're getting the creme de la
you're
creme
getting
of
way
the
more
night.
than the RIP. And
For sure.
we do utilize the RIP for all guests on that. So
Yeah, I mean, I would assume that night would be more expensive just because you're getting the full fledged experience for
yeah,
sure.
The show starts before you get there, and I mean, I'll tell you a funny story. We had an actress that used to work with us, and she always did the clowns. And one extreme night, she was working in the clowns, and a group that came through her scene, and it happened to be a group that got shoved back through the house. You get about 3/4 of the way through, and they put you through a door, and you're starting back over.
Oh,
And you have to go
wow.
Back through again.
Oh, that's cool as shit.
Well, she
That
ended
is
up coming
so
through
cool,
her
man.
scene like 3 times. So she's like, screw this. When they left, they were walking up their car. She ran up and jumped in the car with them.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
So like getting in the car, and she ran up. She's like, you didn't lose me yet. She jumped in the car with them, and they're like, they were freaking out.
This
Oh,
honey
that's
does not.
great.
This
So-
honey goes with you. Like that is amazing.
You never know what's going to happen on an extreme
Oh,
night. You
man.
really
With
don't.
real chainsaws.
Real chainsaws? That's terrifying as shit, man. Yeah, like when I was in Louisville, there was a guy that had a chainsaw, and it was like typically it's just like the chainsaw that like there's no blade, there's no chain on it, right? But like I don't know how he got it to spark off the wall unless there was a chain on it. Like I don't know, man. Like
I don't know how to do that.
There's a lot of little tricks to that.
yeah, whatever it was, that was one of those moments where we were with a group and one of the girls bolted and just ran like full sprint out of the thing, and then she was like waiting at the end like for 10
group,
minutes. Well,
yeah.
for us to get out of there. And
Freaked
she was
out.
like,
Yeah.
Yep.
Panic attack.
But it's that
Audi.
But it's that it was always it's the chainsaw. As soon as you hear the chainsaw at
Yep.
the end, and then they start, they smell that fear, and then they start chasing you with it. She was gone, bro.
chainsaw does it, and the anticipation goes up 100-fold as soon as they smell the gas.
Oh yeah, that's the truth too. That's what Dave was saying earlier, man. The smells, like that's something big when it comes to it. Is like you got to get all 5 of those senses really working to really get you like to get freaked out.
Yeah,
all of our scenes are scented, so that
yes.
like our night watchman is.
And I'm armed.
Fred is scented too, right?
Yeah, Fred is scented.
Yeah.
But our night watchman, one of his, he's a drinker. So when you walk in his room, it smells like whiskey.
Yeah. Okay.
It smells like hospital and the infirmary.
Yeah, when you go in the infirmary.
Oh, that's very cool.
Like
See, that's
hospital.
smart,
Raw
man.
sewage, cotton candy,
And the
Dead
popcorn.
bodies.
dead body.
We
Yeah.
got charred corpse this year.
Yep.
Nice.
Charred corpse. That's what you got. One room that smells like charred corpse.
No, I got a cologne that smells like charred coat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he'll wear it as a cologne.
Is that Dracar? Just kidding.
Dracar Noir.
Yeah, he's got the.
Hell.
Yeah, so we really do. We try to hit all the senses.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a part of like we've talked about it. Like that's part of what I was, visiting Disney and whatever. And the events and everything. There was always a certain scent that would come along with whatever was happening. I'm like, they're pumping this. They're pumping a smell into it. Like, there's no way this just happened.
Right.
Like, they're pumping smells from somewhere. So it's just like when you on that level, you gotta hit everything that humans can feel, and you're hitting it on, especially gasoline. You're hitting on like, you know what I mean, like. If they smell gasoline, you know something's going down.
Yeah,
Like,
that's a fight or flight smell right there.
Yeah. It really is. And
You're in the laundry and it's mothballs. Wherever you go, there's
smelling fish somewhere. Where's she at? Right, right. Yeah, like
on Extreme Night, the smell of fish is everywhere.
oh, I bet
Man,
you
you should
can't
see
hide a
Carlos
dead
to the
fish.
left, he goes nuts.
You can't even hide that. There's nothing you can do. You open that freezer and everyone on the whole boat is smelling it. I mean, you're on the river anyways, so like
Right.
you're already having the smells in general from the jump, And like you were saying that the rooms are really hot, so like I'm assuming that the smells are even more like
Pungent. For
pungent.
Sure.
Yeah, more prominent. Yeah, so like because of the heat, I mean, when it gets cooler or whatever, but like when it's hot, man, smells go way further.
Yep.
You know?
Oh, there's no doubt about it.
Oh man, do you ever have people like have because I have as of now it feels like mild asthma. When I was like younger, my asthma was much stronger, but asthma's a thing. When the smells, it like gets you, like spices can get you and stuff. I like spicy stuff. I've done the 1 chip challenge 3 times, whatever. I'm not afraid, whatever. But like the smells sometimes get me. And makes my asthma like add up. Like you ever have people like asthma? I can't do this. Like panic attack because they can't breathe.
Oh, I bet you they get people all the time
Breathe.
like, oh fucking, I got glaucoma. I can't do it. Like you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
like they're just trying to throw everything in the
Yeah,
wind. Like
no,
stop
for
it.
sure.
I got a toothache. Can't do it.
I had
Headache,
somebody
can't do
come
this.
through that in the clown room, and they were like, "I have epilepsy." I was like, "Why do you come?" It says outside if you have epilepsy.
Right.
There's strobes.
Yeah.
They're like, I gotta get out of here. I was like, "I'll get you out," but
Have you
Why
ever
were
been
you
to,
here in the first place?
Have you ever been to a 3D haunted house?
Yeah.
At some of the trade shows, they have exhibits, but I've never gone to an actual.
It was,
house
bro.
that
It was the
used to-
craziest thing. Kings Island did it one year, where it was like they had a 3D haunted house. They had would you go? No, you know what? That wasn't Kings Island. That was right outside of Chicago, Indiana border. There's this terrifying fucking Halloween haunted house out there that does. It's an indoor 3D, and then there's a regular indoor, and then there's an it's 3 haunted houses all in one, and then the outdoor is basically the woods that you're walking through back to your car. But the 3D one was insane. Now I can't see 3D now, but like I walked into a room where they had playing cards laid up against the wall, and it was like a king, a jack, a queen, and they were life size, and there were people laying in it, and it was either a real person or somebody drawn, but I swear you couldn't tell the difference because of those 3D glasses. And so as you're walking by, one of those people that was sitting there all of a sudden like step out and try to scare the shit out of you. I'm thinking to myself like, this 3D stuff is insane, dude, like that they're doing with this, because like if you're able to like critique it or like manipulate it in a way where like you're looking at a playing card and you can't tell if it's a real person or a cartoon?
Yeah, we actually did a 3D section in the boat for a couple years.
It's got to be expensive, man. It's got to be expensive, and you know, to get the 3D glasses and try to make sure everything is, because everything's got to be angled at the same, like, to make sure that the person, you don't see the person's laying up against the card, right?
But
you know
yeah,
what I mean?
it's definitely a trick, but it's not as bad as you think. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was fun because I hadn't done a lot of 3D art at the time.
Yeah.
But I'm the one that did the room, and it was fun learning the process and
I
putting
bet,
it
man.
together, and like you said, trying to make it work well enough that the actor could be against the wall and look like basically a two-dimensional painting that's just painted in a 3D style with the glasses, and make them, you know, not be able to tell which one's which.
Yeah, that was a really cool experience, man. Because, you know, I can't see 3D now because of the one eye, but like going through that and seeing that and having that, because there's all black lights in that room too, so
Right.
it was very like it was very dark and bright on the
It's usually
highlights of it.
Yeah, because you need the black to make the colors jump.
For
And,
sure.
like, between each color, you have to have at least a thin line of black.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
always
yeah.
something to separate. If you can't, if they run together, they won't be dimensional. So you
That's
have to-
the trick,
That's
huh?
what I learned. The trick was you have to separate them, and then based on the colors, how they jump. So if you want, you know, your darker colors, your deep reds and stuff, versus the colors that
They'll
jump
sit
out.
in, and the bright oranges will
Yeah,
pop
so,
out.
So you
yeah.
want to put the bright colors in the middle and the dark, so it makes it look like it's rounded, and it was all a little.
You guys already know what you're
little
doing,
nuance.
bro.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
It's fun to do.
All right, dude. So if anybody wants to buy tickets to USS Nightmare, can they just go down there and pick up tickets, or do they have to go to the USSNightmare.com? Like, how does this work?
You can do either one.
Okay.
USSNightmare.com. You can purchase them online, or you can come down to the ticket booth. We also have a lot of people that will buy tickets online, and if they get down there and they decide they want to come on a busy Saturday and they're like, "Oh, dude, we're waiting that line," they can always take that ticket up to the ticket booth and upgrade it if they want to go to a fast pass. Or
I was going to say,
a
do you
front
guys
of the
have a
line.
fast pass? That's great, because there's a
Yeah.
lot of people that are just willing to spend the extra $20 or $30 just to skip the
Right.
2-hour line.
Yeah, we have two levels of it. We have a fast pass, and in the fast pass, you'll have a little bit of a line, but then
It's only the line for the people that bought the fast pass.
basically, yeah.
Yeah.
And then we have a front of the line where you actually, when you buy the front of the line, you step off to the side. A security guard comes up and escorts you around the boat directly to the front door.
Oh, there you go.
So
Okay.
people like to do that.
That's
if
that
they're
Chrissy
especially-
Teigen status right
That's-
there. That's
yeah,
what
that's
Chrissy Teigen got.
That's what she did.
Yeah, your USS Nightmare Plus.
That and
Right.
you know, we one of the guys that used to come down and see us every year when he was in town was Montez Perfect.
Oh, Vontez.
Okay.
Came down
Yeah.
every year. Loved
That's
it.
awesome,
Loved
man.
it. And he was a big chicken.
I bet. You know what? That's so funny, dude.
Takes all the hits.
I'm
but
so
yeah.
glad that you guys just said that, because he's such a scary human being.
Right.
It's always the scariest ones that can't handle the haunted houses.
the big ones
right?
fall the hardest. Yeah.
That's
It-
crazy.
Yeah.
Somewhere out on YouTube, there's probably still a video where someone videotaped it. One year we had several of the UC football team come down. And
Yeah, it's
oh
on
my
YouTube.
God,
Yep.
those guys were terrified. I mean, like
The
you were
nuts haven't
thinking,
dropped yet. They're still in college, bro.
yeah,
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
but
yeah.
you were thinking it was a group of 14-year-old girls
Right.
Oh.
screaming. I mean, they were like they were
shrilling.
scared. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was
That's
fun.
great, man. You got them in that mentality. You know, you got to set them up before they get into the ship, and once they get in there, you got to
That's the goal. We
strike
really,
while the iron's hot, man.
Yeah, that's get them in there and keep that adrenaline going.
Got to,
Can't give 'em
man.
that break.
I'm sure your job's a lot harder than people realize, man, because you guys are building the anticipation. You know what I mean? Like, you guys got to make sure that by the time they get to that door, they're not just like, oh man, I've been waiting in line for 2 hours. Yeah, I'm ready to get in here. You know, you got to make sure that they're ready to go, and their anticipation and everything's ready to bounce, man.
Say just like crafting that art so it doesn't matter who comes in, everybody's scared.
Right. That's the goal.
Yeah.
Steps in the door, he's scared.
That's the goal.
Yeah, that's our guy Tyrell, man. He's the third man on the ship here, bro. So we're this is the whole crew running the Native brand. So if you see him in here, he'll be able to take care of you. If you guys, like I said, if you guys do want to carry any merch up here, or if you guys run out of merch and you need some stuff printed, on the fly. I'd love to help you guys out, man. I love that Anna shirt. So that's not for sale this year?
No, that was, 4 or 5 years ago.
there might be some up there.
But I think there is a
And there's
few.
captain
Okay.
I think that we have some
some
stragglers of Anna and the captain.
and our anchor design on a sweatshirt.
Right.
Oh, cool, man.
So,
So we can. So are they able to see any of the merch on USSNightmare.com, or is it all just you
I
got to
don't
come
think so.
down and pick?
that's a good.
I would probably think, like, just to make sure you guys don't run out of stuff and like oversell stuff online, you probably would just keep it just for the people that are coming down to actually visit, because you want to get them as they're coming out and say, hey, do you like that Anna? Here's it. Here's the
but
sweatshirt.
like you said, they
t-shirt.
have talked about, because I think even Pink Moon talked about if we want to do that. So Terry's definitely considering that. So I'll let her know that you guys would be interested too. So
For sure, man. Yeah,
And
we can.
if
Like I
you-
said, we can print stuff down here for you if you guys need 4Xs that you guys didn't carry. Or you guys didn't get run. When you guys did the silk screen, we can print just 5 of them for you if you need just the big boy sizes. Because like you said, the bigger the harder they fall, man.
and this is true.
True.
For sure. All right, man. So is there anything else you guys wanna plug?
Did Terry do his scary story?
Yeah.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
You did one of them.
I was just,
We'll
just
save
making
the
sure,
rest for
Just making sure.
surprises.
All right.
No, let's go. Like, do we have time? Do you have time for the last one?
I just
Yeah,
wanna
Let's
make
tell us.
let's close it off with the story from Terry, bro.
Oh heck, I don't know now.
Put
give
him
us,
on the spot.
Give us a moment when you just chuckled to yourself, like you were like
Every time that
yeah.
this past
Pick
weekend I
pick
dragged
one.
a little kid down by his ankle. So
Oh, okay.
his mom filming it. He fell down on the deck, and I'm just dragging him down the pole.
Oh, she filmed it. She took part.
She's
She took.
filming it and
She
just-
took part. Oh
His
man.
friend's trying to help him, and I let go of his leg, and he face plants into the glow machine.
Oh.
How
man.
about the
wow.
first time you encountered, or one of the first times you encountered the posse in the box?
Yeah, that was fun.
He dropped like a rock.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
But then there was 8 of us coming in the door at one time. He's like, "What the hell?"
Right, yeah.
He's like, "Hit the deck."
Yeah, 'cause see, I threw him against the wall all by myself,
Mhm.
and then all of a sudden, here comes these guys rushing in, and I get thrown against the wall. I'm getting stomped and kicked on, and
I was gonna say, is that like an initiation thing? Like everybody who gets hired on, like you got to go through, you got to be able to explain this story to people because you know how.
it's more of if you want to see what you can do on extreme night, just ride the box one
We
like.
need to do that.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
It's an
We
Put that in the
initiation
box.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, like initiation. Yeah, that's
Guys, we're
interesting.
gonna have a quick show for you, real quick. We're gonna start teaching you extreme
All the
night.
newbies
Yeah,
in the box.
right. Let's call this "quote unquote" training. Right.
But
Right.
it was funny after Terry realized what we were doing. He started playing along with it, and like he would be at the door, and when the door would open, he would just like roll out of the scene, like literally come falling out, and roll down the hall, and he's like, "It's crazy in there." And then you see these people come out all disheveled, and the next group is going in is kind of hesitant, and then they come around a corner and they just see all of us standing there like,
And we're waiting for the next group.
"Come
to
on
in.
in!"
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like, oh shit.
And every
That's-
time I throw myself out the door.
That's awesome, man.
Man.
All right, dude. So all of your Instagram, hashtag, Facebook, all those handles are just USS Nightmare. TikTok is USS.Nightmare.
Yes.
So does that mean somebody took USS Nightmare on TikTok?
That is crazy.
I run the TikTok account, and it wouldn't let me do USS Nightmare.
Really?
And I guess somebody had it. And I was like,
Oh, those are fighting words, man. Who's gonna do that? Come on.
You gotta buy that account.
All right. So and then so how are you guys doing on TikTok? Do you guys have like a bunch of people that are like uploading stuff? Like, you guys try to create something where they can do TikToks in line, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do something where, like, as these kids are waiting in line, like anticipation, like, you know what I mean? Try to get something going viral on that. You never know with these TikTok things, man. We had somebody came in the other day on a 17th birthday, and they did a 5-second TikTok, and it's at 40,000 views
Yeah.
inside the
It's
lab.
crazy.
And like they never tag us, right? So like this girl did. So shout out to you for tagging us. But like we've gone viral so many times on TikTok, but like it never files back to the Native brand or the
Right.
Mad Scientist, because people are like, oh, that white room was so cool, but no one knows where it's at. So it's like if you can try to figure out a way to to bring them back to tag in the USS Nightmare. Like, TikTok is the move right now,
Right.
man.
We've had people. I've had a lady come into the store and she stumbled in the store. She didn't know where she was at. They were just on the levee visiting Cincinnati for some event downtown. But they were here, and she walks in and she was like, with her girlfriend or whatever, and she was like, "I've seen this." She's like, "No, I should." She brings her phone up. She's like, "I've seen this," and she's from Michigan. She never left below Michigan. She said everything north she's been. She's like never below, never been anywhere else. But she saw it on TikTok from the state of Michigan, through the interwebs, and she was like, "I'm here. I'm really here. Is this? How many of these stores are there?" I'm like, "No, this is it. This is the 101." She's like, "Oh my goodness!" So she started taking all these videos. She was so hyped because she's like, "I just found this. This is just through my internet, like, you know what I mean, through my TikTok, and just found her way." And like, that is the power of
the internet.
The internet, man, it's crazy. She had no idea. She'd never been to Cincinnati, never been to Newport until that time, and she was here. And I was like, I was just talking to her. She's like, "This is so cool, better than the video." And she said she saw like 3 months earlier too. So she's like, "I've never had any intention to actually visit because I just saw it and I liked it and it's in my likes." I was just like, wow, like, that's cool. Well, enjoy. And she got her merch and she headed out. But like, it's just, you never know who's gonna pop in. You just
we had a kid came in and he liked a bunch of stuff, and they were checking out, and his mom was like, "Hey, like, my son is a social like influencer. If he posts some stuff, can we get some stuff for free?" And I was like, "Oh my God, lady, if I had $1 for every time somebody told me that," you know what I mean? Like, I totally blew it off. I was like, "I'll give you a discount, but I can't give you free stuff." And so I gave her a discount, and then her son posts it, and then he gets 15,000 likes within the first like 12 hours. I go home, and my daughter's 13 now. She was 12 she was 11 at the time. And I go, "Hey, I met this kid today." She goes, "Oh my God, you met Hayden Haas?" Yeah. And I'm like, "Who's this?"
Yeah, Hayden,
she goes, "He's part of the Piper Squad. He's like 90210 from like Beverly, like LA, like, they've got millions of followers." And I'm like, "Oh, the kid's from Cincinnati."
right. They just wanted free stuff, I don't know.
Yeah,
right.
But like it was, and so like I get it like right away. I just DM'd Hayden. I'm like, "Hey, bro, anything you need, like, sorry I blew your mom off. I'll send you skateboards or whatever you need, bro.
Right.
It's on me."
Take the whole store. Yeah, right. Yeah,
But you never know, man. Like these kids come in and they're just like 12-year-old kid, bro. He's just like, he looks just like every other kid that comes in. He's like, I've got followers if you want me to post something.
They're just better at the internet.
He's
than
like,
others.
"Yeah, dude."
Right. That's when we started to do TikTok. I said, "Liz, that's yours."
And you never know. That's going to be one of the goofiest looking kids that comes in that wants to post something. You're going to be like, "Yeah, okay, dude." And this kid's going to post something, and USS Nightmare is going to blow up because of this kid. And you're just going to be like, "Hey, man, free tickets for life for you and your family."
Right, yeah.
It's like you said, she did one, a couple months before, about a month before we opened, because we have one of our big new scenes with a couple new props. She just did a teaser. And just went in,
feet.
like, just
oh, very
quick
cool.
flash in the feet and pan up a little bit and then done. And in 12 hours you had 5,000 or 6,000 hits, and within 24 hours she was at 13,000. Beats. So
there you go. You need that young blood in there, bro.
That's right.
You need that young blood, like kids. They know the algorithm. They can understand it. Like, especially with the store here, like, adults, they lose magic, bro. Like, we see it every day when kids come in. 12 to 16 to 18 years old, like, they'll read stuff on the walls, and within 2 minutes they're like, "All right, there's another room in here. Like, we need to figure this out." Adults, man, they're just like, "Can I buy a 7-Up?" It's like that thing moves, and like when you walk up to it, it ends up moving. They're like, "What the fuck is this?"
Right.
But these like kids, like they get it, they understand, and they the magic isn't gone in kids these days, man. And that's the beauty of like owning this shop here, is like seeing these kids like have this imagination where they're reading stuff on the walls. And like I promise you, man, like, we are so valuable to places like Justice, like these little kid stores, because we've got something that's adult oriented, but we see the kids that come in and go, "There's more to it."
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And these adults are like, "What are you doing? Get away from that 7. Get away from that."
Yeah.
Like, because it's close to the register. So adults are like, "Get away from there." But kids are like, "No, I'm walking over the 7-Up machine." You know
That's
what I mean?
part of it, yeah.
And
they'll
so
teach the parents like that, and the parents see it and they're like, "Oh my!"
Yeah, and it's so it's so
Oh,
crazy,
my.
bro. Like adults, just as you get older, like you put these blinders on, and you just lose this magic that was so like kid oriented, man. And
Become
it's-
jaded. You see so much of the world. The world's a cruel place, and the internet is giving us so much at the same time. You know what I mean? So
Right.
like we're seeing when we look on our phones, there's advertisements. You don't even know they're advertisements. Everything's just in your face. And when you come to a store, you're like, you see there's a lot of aesthetic. You're like, all right, this is cool. And before you know it, there's just so much to look at. We have a lot in here. I mean, this store's packed, wall to wall, with clues, different stuff. We have a basketball hoop way high. We got astronauts. We got stars. We got graffiti. We got spider webs right now. We got hoodies. We got stuff everywhere for to look at. We got clothing. We got boxes of cereal. We got Funkos. There's so much to look at. So in that, you get lost in translation, whatever. So the kids, though, they see the clue on the ground. They say, "Can you find the lab?" Instantly, they're like, "Challenge accepted."
Right.
And then
That's exactly what it
That's
is.
how I feel. Yeah. They challenge accepted. I will find this lab, but they don't relay that message to their parents. They're like, "All right, I'm looking," and the parents are like, "Oh, I see Bengals gear. I see. Oh, I see King of the Jungle. Cool. Let's go look over here. I think Uncle Tom would love this." And the kid, meanwhile, he's like, "Oh, I see. Can you find the lab? Clue number 3? What?" And then before you know it, they run to the pop machine, and Mom's like, "What are you doing? Get away from there. That's by the register," because it is really close to the register. So it's like, it's a patch of grass and off limits, right? So like the kid steps on it, and the door opens, and that parent is just as excited as the kid. The kid's like,
yeah.
"Yeah, I successfully did it." The parent's like, "How
That's
did I-
awesome.
How
Yeah.
did I not know about this?"
Yeah, the parents excited on 2 levels. Two,
Yeah.
like one that my kid was smart enough to find this too, and the second one is like, can we go back there? Is that
Yeah.
okay? Like,
Yeah,
is
yeah.
it cool?
Yeah,
But
exactly.
that's one of those things, man. Where like the kids these days, you gotta, I love the fact that our demographic is getting younger and younger, because that's just showing us like the mind capacity of these kids these days, man. Like they've got so much like news and information that they're downloading right now, that it's so cool seeing these kids think outside the box. And for you guys, man, to run a haunted ship like this, like, you guys got to keep innovating and keep doing things, but like to keep these kids involved is super. It's vital at this point, especially when it comes to haunted houses for longevity, because you got somebody they're gonna come 2-3 years in a row, and then they're gonna fall out of it, but in 5 to 10 years they're gonna come right back with their next sibling to bring them in, man. And so as long as you guys keep innovating and keep, every year, like, what can we do to be better? Just like you said at the very beginning of the episode, man, just like picking and pulling, like, all right, I see this is working, I see this isn't, let's add this. We go into the trade show, now they've got like a real zombie that we can infiltrate, or like an LED wall. Possibilities are endless, man, especially when it comes to like technology and how things are innovating. And when it comes to that ship, man, as long as you guys can keep it looking dark and dingy like it is, which I'm sure is easy to do, and keep it floating, man, you guys are gonna have longevity, bro. And I'm so thankful that you guys are a part of this tonight, that you guys are able to be here and interviewed, and I thank you for it, man. So if there's anything else you guys want to talk about, or anything else you guys want to plug, I think this is we're almost at 2.5, almost 3 hours.
Almost 3
man.
hours,
Oh, wow.
yeah.
It's like a
Yeah.
Marvel movie.
I know.
Yeah, and
Hey, it is a Marvel movie.
Keep the
And
live
what is
fish.
going on with this? With
keep
this
the live
net,
fish.
bro?
I say the live fish is important.
I don't even have
Yeah,
food over
it's-
here, bro.
It's a
He just
passion,
wants
so
my
it's
net.
easy to talk about.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You can tell. You can. That's the thing with these. We do a lot of these, interviews weekly. We're here every Tuesday night. Newport on the Levee, Native on the Levee. Come down and visit. But like we do them all the time, and we get different kind of guests every time. Whether it's an artist, a videographer,
Social influencer.
social influencer. Like we've had people that want to be on that are magicians, just different politicians, different walks of life. But the one thing that I always notice is the passion of whatever their field is, and like where it comes from is like so deep. Now the stories are all different, where you got into it, how you got to become what you are, but like the passion behind it is all the same regardless of the field. People are like, all right, this is my moment to tell about what I've spent
Exactly.
5,000 hours perfecting, and now they accept me. But the thing is, you've been accepted from the start.
Right.
You're accepted because you got to the couch. You got to the opportunity. But the passion is the same. It doesn't matter the field. It has nothing to do with what you're doing.
Yep.
It's like you see radiates the passion is like, oh man, this guy, as soon as you say, let's talk about the greatest scare, in eyes, your eyes all go up. It's nonverbal, so you don't see it. I see it. So like then the eyes go like, oh man, he crawled on the ground. I'm gonna tell this one.
Yeah,
like
start going through the data bank. Yeah.
Exactly. And like we've had people sell their spices like, oh, what's your favorite? Like I've had people do this, I've had people do this. Spices get people, but people love spices, whatever. But like his passion, Nate's passion was so into it, and he hasn't been doing it as long as 30 years. You know what I mean? Like, but the passion doesn't change. Right. The passion in human nature is like eyes wide, this is my moment, your voice peaks, everything happens the same. It's amazing that someone's like, we have had people that deal with trauma and her passion to fix the trauma on individuals that she doesn't even know and to scare somebody out of their pants. You know what I mean? Like that those two different, dynamics between those two different passions still show the same on the face. Yep. And I'll tell you right now, like seeing so many people on the couch, haven't had anyone like you guys. You guys are one of a kind because like, I mean, you're dealing with people that are like coming into it in the sense of like, I'm not going to get scared. You know what I mean? Like they're coming in like and challenging, like they don't even know you. They have no idea who people behind or anything, people behind the masks are, or the face paint, as we said. But like, they're
this
like,
ain't gonna scare me.
Yeah, they're not gonna scare me.
I don't get scared.
No, I don't get scared. I'll eat that spicy stuff all day long. I don't care. But these people, they ain't gonna scare me. Like that is like challenge accepted on your end because you're accepting the challenge by just being there. You know what I mean?
Every single time. Every single group walks by, like, challenge accepted. I'm going to scare this one. I'm going to scare this one. I'm going to scare
Go in
this
the
one.
parking lot and ask people, like, find out the names, find out what they're wearing, see what they're...
Chase them to the car and hop in with them, man.
That's extreme.
That's going above and beyond.
That's ridiculous. That's insane. That and the fish really gets me. Honestly, like just the thing.
I'd probably throw up over the smell. I don't like fish in general, bro.
But it's such a strong smell.
Yeah.
Like you can I know you're on the river and like there's so many smells in the Ohio River. We know what's in there. We don't want to step foot in that. But
I want to know what the guy that gave her the fish is saying. He's probably like, Jesus Christ, she still has that thing. I mean that was for.
Where Fred came from. I don't know.
Where did Fred come from?
I gave it to her for it was just expiring. It was supposed to be for a week.
Right, I couldn't do anything with it. She made the most of it to the very least.
Fred has had a long life.
Yeah, tell her she gets a major shout out on this podcast.
They would end up putting a hole through Fred just to keep him going.
Yeah, keep him going as long as you
got
can.
To.
However you got to do it.
You got to, I'm taxidermy.
Yeah.
Taxidermy, and then just pour some like fish oil on them so you can smell still.
Yeah, and if it gets too late, and you have to put them on the wall, and get a new fish.
Dude, frame it and have them come off the wall like that.
Like the talking fish.
Yeah.
Oh, Billy
Bass.
Yeah.
But it's funny when you say that passion because we've recently gone to having younger actors like my daughter. It used to be, it was a job. You got to be 18 or older, and we've worked with younger actors now that get involved.
I mean, that's awesome that you guys are doing that too.
That you're adapting,
hearing their passion at the end of the night and their stories is what makes it all worthwhile.
For sure.
Oh my God, you know what happened to me in my room? Oh, this is awesome. And they're just bantering back and forth about how much fun they had and the scares they got.
And they glow. They glow about the darkness. That's hard. Yeah.
And those are the guys that are going to replace us eventually.
Right, 100%, man.
Yeah.
You got to keep that family-oriented USS Nightmare going, man, for sure.
Those are the ones that'll be doing it.
Creating tradition within tradition, man.
All right, Lizzie, you're running the ship here in a couple of years. You realize that?
Yeah.
We're gonna have to make a story about a young Lizzie Fairchild or something that was a castaway on the ship.
Anna's long lost sister. You know what I mean?
And I've got an idea, man. So I know there's not a ton of rooms available, but what if you guys offered one person to come in and help design a room, right? I think there's enough freaks out there that would be like, oh my God, can I get in on this? Like I would love, because me personally, like when you guys started talking about designing rooms, I got jealous. Like I'm thinking like, oh, I could add some shit to it, bro. like I don't know if I could bring a 7-Up machine down there, but I
Right.
can definitely add to it and make a room
Yeah.
super creepy on my own.
Oh yeah.
But like if you guys offered that like next season as like a hey, like do you want to design your? It might be hard to do because you guys house the ship, then you got to bring it out. And you only have so much time to get it ready to up and running. But like getting the everyday person involved with their hands in, like
Yeah.
if you get one person to go in there and design a room, that person's going to tell 200 people
Yeah.
that they've got a room there. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
those 200 people are going to get
influencer of sorts. Like
Yeah.
some kind of like the designer influencer from like whether we do a mad scientist room or we do some
How-
kind of like
How fucked up is your head? Can
Right.
you design a room
Yeah.
scary enough for the USS Nightmare?
they have to test the room first. They make a room, you test it. If it's worth it enough, get in there, do a contest.
narrow it down to a contest,
Yeah,
and then that
man.
one person gets to design a room with
Oh.
you guys, so it's
Yeah.
not like their whole like
Yeah.
they can just make this their own little murder room.
Right.
And it's funny you say that. We had a concept in our mind one time. We never did. We should have taken it further. I think it would have been fun. But when all the whole Trading Spaces came out, and
Okay.
Oh,
we
yeah.
thought that would be fun if like haunts did that, like 2 haunts. This they trade places for a week, and one haunt designs a scene in the other haunt's room
Oh
show,
man,
and the other haunt designs it in theirs. And we always thought that would be a fun thing to do. So,
yeah.
yeah, getting people involved is actually a pretty cool idea.
I mean, just the fact that like they can just put their 2 cents in. They don't have to design the whole room, but if they can design with the set design crew, I think that would, especially if you grab somebody that's got 30, 40,000 followers, you'll be able to really nail that down, man.
Yeah, for sure.
That'd be pretty cool.
But
Yeah.
all right, man.
All
I
right,
think this is
idea.
going to wrap up another episode of the PowWow. So if you guys do want to check in, if you want to buy tickets to USS Nightmare, you guys can come down. You can park at Newport on the Levee, or you can park down there by Hooters and Beer Cellar and just walk on over. Tickets are available at USS Nightmare or on USSNightmare.com. Can they buy the express tickets down here? So if they don't want to wait in line, they can just, like where
Yes.
they're buying tickets, they can buy express pass or front of the line pass.
Yeah.
So there's a couple different passes you can get. But you guys, how long you guys are you guys are going all the way till November?
Yes, yeah. From now on, we're Thursday through Saturday up through Halloween, and then the following weekend, Friday and Saturday, will be our extreme shows on the 5th and 6th.
Awesome,
Of
man.
November.
Yep.
I think we should take a camera through and film and then upload it on another podcast.
Yeah, I think we should do it on a Saturday night. Close the shop up at 10 and go do it.
Okay,
So that would work.
that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
maybe we can
we're
do that.
talking.
Maybe we
You mentioned 1 a.m. So we're in the
late
time.
night crew. Yeah.
Let's go.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
All right, man. I appreciate you. And if you guys want to buy it, so how much are these T-shirts? Because I really like that Anna shirt right there, man. Were they 20, 25 bucks?
I believe they're.
probably?
I'm going to say 20 or 25.
Yeah.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
So come down to USS Nightmare, and maybe we can have a set of tickets that we can give away. If I got to buy some, we can buy some, and then do an event that we can give away a set or something.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Down here.
We can. I'm sure we can make that happen.
Yeah, we'll do something together. We can give away a pair of tickets to a viewer. So, all right, man. I
Most
appreciate
definitely.
you guys. Until next time, this is going to wrap up another episode of the PowWow.
Yes, sir.
If you guys want to get a hold of them, USSNightmare.com, USS Nightmare on all of their social media, or USS.Nightmare on TikTok. And then Native is over here.
Yes,
Native
sir.
on the Levee. Liquid Death. Appreciate you guys for all the swag you guys gave us.
Appreciate y'all.
And hey, he's been dying to show that back of this shirt, dude. He's been dying to show the back of this shirt. I swear to God, he goes, like right when he walked in, he goes, "I love the shirt, man, but how am I going to advertise it? I'm not going to be able to advertise it on the podcast,
I
man."
am now with the skull and everything, dude.
Yeah,
Let's
dude.
go.
So yeah, they laced us up with a bunch of merch and
Yes,
a bunch of water. So we've been hanging with these guys for a while. So.
Yeah, let's do it.
And
Liquid
then
Death. Let's get-
Chef Brian Duffy, man,
Yes, sir.
Duffified. He's a celebrity chef. He's sponsoring the podcast as well. So shout out to you, my guy. Appreciate you. Your food's delicious. He's got restaurants all over the nation. All you got to look up is Duffified, and you'll be able to find those. So appreciate you guys. Love you on another episode of the PowWow on Tuesday.
Thank you.
Dude,
Appreciate
I
you
love
guys.
every one of you, man. Thank
Thank
you so much for being here for 3 hours, bro.
Yeah. Say
All
bye.
right.
Stop down here because there's some incredible stuff.
Hey,
thank
appreciate
you.
you, bro. With that little hidden room.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. We'll catch you on another episode. We're out of here.
Later.
Later.
Bye.
See ya.